What is to be your RPG? That is the question. The answer is, we're a group of professional actors that plays a regular Dungeons & Dragons campaign to benefit the Classical Theater Company here in Houston, Texas. What is the Classical Theater Company? Well, it is a non-profit theater company that is the only professional theater company in the entire state of Texas that solely produces year-round classical drama. They produce old plays that's 100 years old or older, so it's everything from the Greeks and Shakespeare up through Oscar Wilde and George Bernard Shaw and the other early modern playwrights. We do this, we play this game to benefit the Classical Theater Company, which means we want you to donate to the Classical Theater Company. You can make a tax-deductible donation to the Classical Theater Company at any point. Heck, you don't even have to do it while you're watching live tonight on Twitch. You can do it tomorrow or next week or 10 years from now when you watch this video on YouTube or listen to it on a podcast. You can still donate to the Classical Theater Company. The PayPal information, if you're watching now, is below in our Twitch channel. You can check that out. Or you can always go to classicaltheater.org and donate directly there. It's a tax-deductible donation, and you can help support the arts, which is what we're trying to do here by entertaining you, hopefully, or at least us, with some Dungeons and Dragons with a classical twist. So welcome. We are glad to have you here, we'll get to some other things later about today's episode. But meanwhile, let's welcome the Merely Players in. Hey y'all, how's it going?
Hello, everyone.
Hey,
welcome back.
Hey. What's been going on since we last met?
I dropped my pancakes
one
on the
thing's
floor
happened.
this morning.
What?
Nothing. Your hair looks
I
great.
forgot to tell y'all that, actually.
You dropped your pancakes on the floor?
I made pancakes from scratch this morning.
Were you trying to
I
flip
dropped them on the floor.
All of the
No, it was
pancakes?
on the plate. They were done, and I dropped them on the floor.
You still ate them though, right?
You still ate them.
They had syrup on them. Well, they had honey on them.
You gotta want it.
Just wash
So
them.
you made
I didn't.
you made floor
Oh, that
cakes.
sounds awful.
made
A wet pancake.
That's what they call
Was
it.
that a joke, Andrew?
No.
Was it really?
No, it's been a while.
I thought about like there's flat
I'll write a better
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Hold on.
We're
I like that
workshopping.
one. Flapjacks? No, that just seems like you.
What else? What is you guys?
I saw Gabe in a show.
You saw Gabe in a show, our very own Gabriel
In
Ragoho.
Eddie Goes to Poetry City by Richard Foreman, an avant-garde kind of wild show.
Where did you see that?
At the Catastrophic Theater.
The Catastrophic Theater here in Houston, Texas.
And man, Gabe was wonderful. I think Gabe is one of the, like an everyman role is really hard to play because it's supposed to be a role like, oh, this could be me in that thing, and he plays it with such sincerity. And Richard Foreman's he's tough. But I feel like it's a very liberating performance because it's all on impulse and just living in that moment, in those very small moments that happen back to back over and over again, and all this stuff. And the whole cast nailed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I really appreciate it. As someone who has also done a Foreman show years and years ago, not nearly as good. I know how hard it can be, but I felt like a couple times I could see like through your eyes like what you were going through and like all this stuff. I was like, I feel weird about it, but it was like it was good. Like it was. I didn't make much sense all in all, but it doesn't have to, or it makes sense to different people, and it made sense to me in my own way, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Nice. So what you're telling me is
Thank you.
you're trying to lay it on thick on Gabe because Billy was
Yeah, I'm
such a
showing him
jerk.
what it's like to appreciate an artist.
Yeah, you were one of the actors of all time, bud. Just
Yeah, one of the actors. I also saw Roe last night.
Roe was
Row?
so
Oh, nice.
good.
Oh, good. Where was that?
That was at Stages, and
Stages Repertory Theater here in Houston, Texas.
it's the best show I've ever seen in my life. Like, hands down, it's the best show I've ever seen. Sorry, Gabe, but it was the best show
Yeah,
I
you
have
were shit,
ever
bud.
seen. Teresa Zimmerman, I can name all the actors, Chaney Moore, Foster Davis,
Tom Pryor. Aaron Ruiz.
Brianna Reza?
Brianna Reza, like, wow, like top to bottom, there's no flaw that you can think of. It was the most moving piece of work I've ever seen. And the daughter of Norma was there last night.
Are you kidding me?
And I had to find out after the fact, but I was just like, oh, like it was incredible.
What is the next piece of theater you're going to go see?
My kid's one-act play this Saturday.
It's tough. So that's going to be a couple tough acts to follow, apparently.
Yeah. There's 7 shows. We go 4th.
All right.
It's a very long day.
Yeah.
My kids are doing very well. They've starting to iron out the kinks.
Yeah.
Still some kinks.
Still some kinks, though.
Well, we're not
Figuring
here
out
to
some
shame.
ironing.
We're not here to shame.
No, we're not here to shame. No, they're going to do great.
All right. Awesome. Very cool. Well, that's whatever.
You've got a thing.
I do have a thing.
You gonna
Tell us about your thing.
I'm
Wait a minute.
No, it'll be short. It'll be short.
I'm getting married. I'm
Pull up
getting
a
married
chair.
on Saturday.
The day of my competition, I will not be at your wedding. I'm sorry.
I know you won't be. So myself and our social media maven, Miss Lindsay Ann Earhart, will be getting hitched. We'll be getting hitched on Saturday. This is news to her, but
She's going to be sick that day.
we'll tell her later.
I'm coming down with some.
She was going to next one I play competition. So that is a very exciting news in my own little personal world. What about anyone else? What about going on with this?
I recently was on My Hero Academia.
Hey!
Was that
I've
your
heard
first?
that show.
Was that your first stint on My Hero?
No, it's a continuation of a character.
Is it called My Hero or is it called Academia?
My Hero Academia.
My Hero Academia.
I know, but when you shorten it, in shorthand, is it?
It's MHA.
MHA.
Oh, okay.
And it's actually it's called
Two dumbasses over here.
It's Japanese, but I can't remember the name of the.
Oh, I don't remember either.
But
The original
a lot
name
of
of
a lot of people.
It's
I
like the
remember
anime
the
right
name,
now.
not because I actually watch it, but Boku no Hero Academia.
Yes.
That's
There it
it.
is.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Thank
Here.
All right. Nice. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Babush, what about you? How's going?
I saw Ant-Man.
Oh yeah. What did you think I am?
1 to 10.
I haven't caught it.
Did you
yet.
bring a magnifying glass?
I guess
That
for
was
this
brutal.
one you need like a microscope because
Yeah.
they're like, they're
In the
real
quantum realm.
small.
A quantum microscope.
Yeah, right? So,
She smiles.
What do you give it? 1 to 10. What would you give it?
that's so hard.
Do you like Kang?
She didn't like it.
Well, not,
You know what? I had fun.
Okay.
I had
Good.
fun.
Okay, fair.
I ate Brussels sprouts. I went to a fancy theater.
oh wow.
Fancy-
Okay.
Yeah.
What theater did you go to?
I went to iPic.
Oh, to iPic?
Oh, yeah,
that's
my
cool.
friend went there.
You're gonna say
Great.
IHOP.
I've been to iPic a few times.
You had
It was weird. It was
might have
wild.
been
I had my own
Ant-Man.
blanket,
Like
my
a pod.
chair, like reclined.
You're like in a
Big
little
old
pod.
Actual
Brussels
ants.
sprouts with just like fancy
There
sauce.
are like some people out there that don't like Brussels
It cost
sprouts.
me like $50 to go to this, but it was great. It was luxury.
Ant-Man, more like I
I actually
Ant-Man.
went to the quantum realm.
But it wasn't in 3D. I feel like maybe you should see it like in IMAX or
Oh,
something.
I can't do
So
that. I
it's
get
like
nauseous.
floating at you and stuff. I think that was the point, but I just saw it regular, and I enjoyed myself.
All right.
It's either
I mean, you can't ask for more than that.
that way or on mushrooms.
Right. I don't know if it's a standalone though. You know what I mean? I've been
Yes.
watching all the Marvel
Yeah,
stuff, so I feel like
yes.
you don't really get Kang unless you've seen the end of Loki. So it's kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure. Fair enough.
I still haven't seen it.
Mark, anything?
I have top surgery on Thursday.
Ooh, nice.
Eviction day is coming, baby.
There you go. There you go. Very nice.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah.
You all ready?
Yeah, as ready as I can be.
Excellent.
You have to like not eat for 24 hours or something like that?
So they told me, this was super weird. They were like, so you have to take a specific amount of medication a couple hours before. You cannot take it with water. You can only take it with the Glacier Cherry Gatorade. And it has to be the 24-ounce bottle because you have to take it with 12 ounces then, and then 12 ounces 5 minutes before you go under.
That is weird.
Wait, that's very
Super specific.
It's super specific.
It's a doctor. It's a
Gatorade
doctor's
work at,
thing.
like,
It's like,
the-
I
Yeah, I was
just
gonna say,
Gatorade.
the hospital called
But like you have to
Gatorade.
get the Glacier one because it's got no dye in it and stuff.
Oh, all right.
I'm like, I'm glad I like that fucking flavor. I mean, it's not the blue one, but it's fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's.
You can put on glasses that are tinted blue and go, yes.
Oh, I won't need glasses. I'll be knocked.
Yeah.
I'll be knocked cold.
There you go.
I saw you list at a thing that you're making a documentary on.
Oh yeah.
We can talk about that.
Oh yeah, but am I allowed to talk about because how do I talk? I'm helping document somebody in town
Yes.
is putting on a show called The Honeycomb.
Okay.
And they're doing all 3 plays, and they've tasked my production company with documenting the whole thing.
Oh.
And it's actually been a good time. It's been very
That's cool.
fun.
That's
We've
awesome.
Very
just
nice.
been all up in the process being just
Yeah.
like watching everything. I feel very strange because like it's, it's very, some stuff feels very staged
Yeah.
and unnatural, but so far I've been able to kind of back off that a little bit.
All right. Cool.
So, and casting information will come out later.
Yes. Yeah.
When people are allowed to speak on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duly noted. All right.
So we got weddings, we got surgery, we got one acts.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's
So it's a
that's-
whole week.
It's a whole week.
It's all
And the
I just want to
Ant-Man's.
Yeah.
the good, the
Well,
bad,
awesome.
and the ugly.
Well, groovy, y'all.
Good, the bad,
So a little tidbit before we get started with the episode, because tonight's a very special episode. So if you're watching us live right now, so we have so as you may or may not know, at the end of our season 1, the Merely players were gifted a tower by the Margrave Henry Bolingbroke just south of the town of Varenna, and the tower had been long laid fallow and empty, and so they were happy to take it, as they have no home, and had been, they'd fixed it up as best they could, but it still needed some love, which we talked about last episode. But so they have this tower, and the desire to name the tower has now been pushed to the forefront, as this is now becoming a sort of more permanent abode. So last episode, we took some suggestions from in the chat for possible names of the tower. We also got some outside suggestions as well, including our friend Shannon. Shannon, I don't know if you're watching right now, but Shannon out in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Shannon had made a couple suggestions over Twitter over the weekend. Which, by the way, you can follow us on Twitter at @ToBeOrRPG. I recommend doing that. But it's so we have narrowed it down now to 2 possible selections. 2 selections for the name of the tower for the Merely players. We have Hijinks Hall. Pretty good, Hijinks Hall. Also, Slapty Dash Tower.
Come on.
So Hijinks Hall and Slapty Dash Tower are the 2 options. So by the end of the night, we would like you to vote in the chat, and Miss Lindsay Ann Earhart will take the time to tally those votes, right?
Is the dash, is that like censoring a word?
I mean, it can be if you like.
The slap the fuck tower.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like slap D, and then like, is there a dash
it's like
or the
slap
word?
dash.
No, it's like the word
slapdash.
slapdash, but it is slapdy dash. From what I understand, it is this has been attributed to the great Eddie Izzard, who she had used it in. I can't remember the name of
An
her
obscure
stand-up
reference.
back in the 90s.
Because I see like slap D and then the dash. I'm thinking like,
Yeah.
what, slap dick tower? Is that where we can curse?
Oh.
Well, what? Oh, come on, we said words.
I didn't realize maybe that's what it is.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so I
It's
thought, like,
it's
are
like
we
in
a
any
D
event?
followed by an asterisk followed by a dash.
any
Is that what
event,
you're implying?
If you're watching us right now live, please vote in the chat, and we will at the end of the night we will tally the number for either Hijinks Hall or Slapty Dash Tower. We don't know what it's going to be. Only you can tell us. So that is going on tonight. Also, if you have not yet voted for the class or donated to the Classical Theater Company, you should do that. If you donate to the Classical Theater Company and you follow us here on Twitch, you will be entered to win this super cool piece of art by our very own Mark Alba of the entire party of the Merely players on cool holographic paper.
It's so cool.
And we'll draw that name at the end of the night. So if you donate to us, any amount will do. Any amount. $1, $10. Your kids. College.
Your kids.
Your kid.
College is overrated.
Right? Yeah.
You could use interns.
We will take that tax deductible donation, and we will enter you to win this super cool piece of art, which we will mail to you straight away. Cool. You can donate to us by the information is in our PayPal below in the Twitch channel, or go directly to classicaltheater.org and donate.
Do it.
Awesome.
Garantanis!
Shall we get started?
Yes.
Very good. The Merely players, recent heroes of the town of Varenna in the North March region of the Lorne Empire, sit comfortably in their tower just a couple miles south of town. Normally, the walls of Varenna and the Margrave's castle would be visible from the modest estate, but it's been quite rainy the past few days, and the overcast skies and misty precipitation make for low visibility. The Rosanti caravan is still encamped on the grounds in front of the tower, and the hulking Pashi and his crew of stoneworkers and carpenters are still at work repairing and rejuvenating the tower. Meanwhile, Domna Petrina's tribe has been incredibly gracious guests on your land. Aside from Pashi's handiwork, the Rosanti have invited you each night to enjoy an evening meal and drink with them. It's early afternoon on this dreary summer day, and the weather has kept the group cooped up in the tower for a few days now. And they're getting a little stir-crazy. Just as Cree is about to chew the leg off a wooden chair in the kitchen, out of sheer boredom, a knock comes on the newly fashioned and fitted iron-banded door.
House guests.
I answer the door. Finally, who is it?
Cree, you swing the door open, and standing there in the spitting rain is a short, older-looking human man in his mid-60s, perhaps, with a clean-shaven face. He's wearing a deep red cloak, and he's got the hood pulled up over his head, and rain is kind of dripping from the lip of the hood.
Oh, sure, you'll do. And I pull him inside.
Much appreciated.
Do it.
I have the honor of speaking to the band of the Merely Players.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that's us.
I don't play an instrument.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're not a band, but we are players.
I once learned how to play a leaf.
More like a gaggle.
You fold it in half.
I see,
you do
yes.
it.
Well,
That's handy.
you are the Merely
Buzzing sound.
Players.
Yes.
Very good. I am in the right
We
place.
love to make things difficult.
I have gathered that in the very short time I have been in your business. My name is Satrin, and I am the valet to his lordship, Baron Robbert Usher. The Baron has requested me to seek out the Merely Players and engage their service to assist him at his manor house.
Oh, goodness.
Your name was Satchel?
Satrin.
Satrin.
Satrin. Oh, I heard Sechon.
Like the spice.
I heard Saturn.
Satrin. Satrin.
Satrin.
I was close.
Satrin. Well, Mr. Satrin? First name, is that your last name? Difficult to tell, that one.
Satrin will do.
Satrin. Okay, Satrin. Yeah, Lord Usher, you say?
Baron Usher. Yeah.
Baron Usher.
Yeah.
Baron, you got games.
Baron
You got
Robbert
stuff to do at his house.
I'm sorry, excuse me?
Does he have games? Does he have stuff to do at his house?
Or does Usher have
There is,
confessions?
in fact, a game room. It is
that an
in his
Usher's?
abode.
We should go. Let's go. Let's go right now.
We don't even know what we're doing.
Yeah, what's the job?
Well, since you have asked, I should say, wisely. There have been strange goings on in the house for almost a year now. Most disturbingly, there is a rumor of that there is a malicious spirit that is inhabiting the house. There have been odd goings on.
Is your house built on a graveyard?
That's a very astute question. Like, we want to get that right out of the way.
It is not to my knowledge. The house is not built.
So you say
No,
you don't
even a
have...
little one.
Did you
Or a
murder
pet
an indigenous
cemetery.
tribe on the lands?
To my knowledge, no one has murdered any tribes of any
Did you
kind.
create a board with a bunch of letters on it and use a small triangle glass to move around a
Ouija
bit?
board.
A what?
His
A Ouija
lordship
board.
is offering
Like a
300 gold pieces.
A what?
How much?
300 gold pieces.
Say no more! Yeah, you can tell us whatever you like now.
For what?
I
a lot
thought
of walnuts.
that might be
I love ghosts.
to solve the mystery behind these strange occurrences.
So, who else resides in this house of Usher?
There is his lordship, his sister, Lady Madeline Usher.
Madeline?
Madeline Usher.
Does she
Madeline
also have a
Usher.
successful music career?
I am not familiar with her being a successful
sorry, I'm-
musician.
Dissociating
All
in
right.
the future.
Yes, and then a few of us servants have stuck it out, as they would say, with these strange things occurring.
So you've seen some of these strange occurrences.
I have seen a few, yes.
Ooh, tell us, what did you see?
Well, perhaps his lordship might be best to describe these things to. I shall say, there have been odd goings on for some time now, and I am not knowledgeable enough to discern exactly what they might be. His lordship is perhaps hoping you might be able to identify them.
Has anyone been hurt?
You first.
Has anyone been hurt by the ghost yet?
I know not whether truly there is a spirit residing in the house or something strangely arcane, perhaps. I know not. But I will say there have been injuries here occasionally.
Well, we certainly want to.
He rubs. He's got gloves on his hand, and he rubs one hand as he mentions it absently.
Well, we certainly want to meet Baron Usher as soon as possible. We don't want to let it burn.
Oh yes, that's a good idea. I think.
Brandon, now's the time where you can cut the stream.
It's a great song.
How far is this House of Usher?
The weather being what it is, it's a bit slower to get there than one perhaps normally would. I should say we should be there within a couple of hours' travel.
Right.
Should we go now, or should we wait for the weather?
This time of year can be rainy for days
Let's
on
go.
end. I think perhaps now might be.
Kree's gonna eat all the furniture if we don't go
I'm
now.
going in my mouth currently. Yeah, we better go.
Yes, that's a strange. In any event,
I don't come into your house and judge you.
no, this is true.
Gotta make
Perhaps
it.
you might
But I
feel
might.
differently shortly.
Wait till we
I
see
might
the
be
house.
about to.
If you need to gather your belongings, I will meet you in front of your tower.
Thank you, Satrin.
Do you have a name for your tower?
We're figuring it out.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes.
I would have used the proper name.
I
of
feel
the
like we'll
tower.
come up with something in the next few hours.
Excellent. I will,
If you're interested in voting on it,
Hogan.
you can comment below in our Twitch chat where it's being. I think I'm
Francis, what's wrong?
dissociating again. Oh my god.
I see.
Sorry, this happens.
Satrin seems very confused by the goings on suddenly, and just sort of he pulls the hood back up and steps outside. So you go.
What did I say?
You're going to gather your belongings. All right. You gather your various weapons, your backpacks, your gear, fill up the water skins, and head out.
I'm bringing the baby.
And Thorben, of course, Thorben the baby fox, who's a bit bigger now. Some time has passed.
He's getting a little
He's not this
It's a
itty
lot
bitty
of
anymore.
bacon. We've like his diet is
Well, still a
We
pup.
do
Still a pup.
manly feed him bacon.
He's a bit bigger now.
We never
Got a
let
bit
it
of a
walk.
punch there.
You just carry it all away.
Aw.
You step out into the kind of spitting rain, and Satrin mounts on a small riding horse that he had tethered to a hitching post out front, which you have never seen before, as apparently Pashi this morning has installed a hitching post out in front of
Oh,
the
we've
tower.
never seen a horse before, is what I thought.
The hitching post. The older man gears up his horse and makes his way slowly along the path from your grounds, along the dirt road that leads east to the Imperial Highway and west in the direction of the Forest of Arden. The hard-packed dirt road is now sodden and muddy with big puddles accumulating there, and your boots kind of make a deep sucking sound as you sort of slog through the mud.
I should call him.
Are there puddles?
What's great?
Are there puddles?
Yes, rather large puddles. Large.
Jump in
dear.
a puddle.
Kree, you splash into the puddle, and somehow it only gets on Bronin. His clean, crisp white tunic is now spattered with.
Sorry, mate. I
mud.
thought it would. It was fun though. You should try it. Now you're already wet.
Come on, Broden, jump in the puddle.
Jump in a puddle.
Might as well. Come on, jump in.
Give it a go.
Go ahead.
Oh, please be 6
Bronin also splashes in the puddle. Satrin kind of looks back and continues on. You pass the Rosanti camp, which is quiet now. Only a few folk mill about the camp, mostly in their wagons and tents in an effort to keep out of the weather. The mounted valet leads your group through the misty, mucky rain westward. You pass by a number of estates and manor houses that are tucked back off of the surrounding lands, but there's no one else out on the road today. After about an hour or so's slow travel, Satrin turns south along the road that looks to be considerably less worn than the rest. Just in the distance, maybe a mile or so off to the west, you can just see the dark shadows of the forest of Arden. And you think back to the time you spent in those forests not so long ago. Saturn continues leading in silence, and you can see that the path you're on is approaching a large, stagnant-looking pond. Lily pads and cattails rise up out of the marshy pool. And there's everyone kind of takes like a double take looking at this pond, as it's got this almost like this iridescent green sort of like film on it almost. So it's kind of this like glowing almost sort of quality to it. And then just in the distance, and you can see now in the distance, just on the other side of the pond, a large, dark, wooden manor. The traditional home of House Usher.
Usher.
If everyone would please make a perception check right now, please.
That's a D20.
Give it a beep.
Well, it ain't me.
Oh.
Nor I.
Hell.
Thexus.
9.
3.
That one.
Wow, that was
raining.
remarkable.
10.
6.
5.
That was amazing.
We don't know
It's
shit.
big fat rain.
You see a big house. A big, dark wooden house.
Do we even see that?
It's tough to make out with the rain and the mist is kind of
we
getting in your
there?
eyes.
We're all facing.
jumping
We're all
in
walking
puddles.
backwards, facing the wrong direction.
You now get, Saturn now leads you all the way up to the front of the house. And you can see that it is a 2-story manor house, quite broad and fairly tall, actually, as well, 3 stories in all. And there are numerous, more than you would normally see, leaded windows that they dot the exterior walls of the house. And you note that they are all dark, which, being the middle of the day, isn't that strange. Oh, I guess mid-afternoon now. Isn't that strange? But being kind of overcast and whatnot, it would be dark in that house with no candles or lamps
Just
lit.
inviting ghosts.
Now that we're closer, well, I'll let you finish. I don't know.
No, whatever you were gonna. What
No,
are you
go
gonna
ahead.
ask?
Interrupt the exposition. Go ahead.
Can I take a closer look at the foundation of the house?
You may, yes, absolutely.
With your
As I'm closer.
we will call this another perception check.
What is this?
That's a 3.
Wow. Okay. So Ronan immediately begins to amble off. The rest of the group is sort of following, and he just stops and starts looking at the corner of the house, like the base of the house, and he just gets really close. And as he's leaning in, his foot slips in a puddle of mud, and he lands face first straight down into the mud. He is now completely covered in
Oh,
mud.
now you're getting into the spirit.
Ronan, we have work to do. Stop lollygagging. Can I do an investigation around the estate to see if I notice anything about plant growth? Like, are things dying? Is there any kind of decay?
Sure. Yeah.
Very melancholy.
Now let's call this a nature check then.
Golly.
You will note that the plants
tables.
seem strangely overgrown.
I can certainly use some yard work.
Magnet over here.
It does not seem to be particularly well kept up. The grounds around the front of the manor house.
Citrine, how many...
Saturn.
Oh, shit, sorry.
Citrine was my uncle.
Your mother?
Uncle.
Sorry, I'm hard of hearing. This rain is very loud.
And his cousin Satire.
It's a common
very
mistake. Common mistake.
And his aunt Latrice.
How many, what's the complement of your, that's not what you say about, how many servants work here in the House of Usher?
There are 3 of us
You?
remaining. Myself, Annabelle, and
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's a fun name.
Are they?
They're German.
They must work in the kitchen.
Yes. And Monty is the chef.
Monty.
Just one Monty?
And his whole family is together. Is it a full Monty? Sorry.
This is
Anyway,
very amusing.
We're gonna get thrown out.
Very amusing. I'm going to stable Penny here, and just knock on the doors there at the top of the steps. And Annabelle, I'm sure, will answer shortly. She is her ladyship's maid. And I will see you upon the inside.
You're not pranking us, are you?
I'm not watching you.
Pranking us, pulling a joke, a gaff,
Joshing.
a whiz, a caper.
I would not josh you. And he leads. He
I had a question, but he's off. Oh, there he is.
he's off.
Well, I think as your resident cleric, I think I should knock the door myself.
What does that even have to...
But I'm going to bring Broden with me as my knight in shining armor. Come on, Broden. Let's lead the way. You're disgusting, by. We really need to talk about.
I'm really sorry. You'd think with the rain I'd at least get some mud off me, but it just keeps on getting on me.
You walk up to the big carved wooden double doors and use the knocker, and it echoes inside the house behind. A few moments later, the door opens, and a pretty halfling woman with a dark brown skin, big black ringlets, and big dark brown eyes answers the door. Delric, your heart does a little pitter-patter.
A woman.
Hello, how may I help you?
You must be Annabelle.
With a pulse.
Yes.
Annabelle Delric Haventhorn, pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Haventhorn.
She could just call me Del. Listen, we have been asked to help you and everyone here in this home. We are here to...
Citrine.
Yes.
Satrin.
Satrin.
Ah, Satrin, yes. Satrin. He is left... Oh, you must be the merely players.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, come in. Yes.
We're here to meet the Baron Usher.
Yes. I'm sure he will meet with you straight away. Just come in. You walk into the foyer of the house, and you are immediately struck with how cold it is inside.
Oh, dear.
And how dark it is in here. The huge vaulted ceiling in the foyer has a massive chandelier hung in it, but it is completely unlit. And instead, there is a round table in the center of the foyer here, a pretty big, thick, circular table with a lamp lit in it in the center of it, and it does barely enough to even drive away almost any of the shadows in this foyer. There's a carved wooden staircase which leads up both the east and west walls in this room up to a landing with a railing at the top there. I'm sure Satrin will be with you shortly. May I take your cloaks?
No.
Bloody cold in here.
Yes.
It's sopping wet.
Why
Please
do you
take mine.
keep it so dark in here?
Oh,
Why is it so dark?
that is his lordship's request. He does not care for too much light.
Annabelle, have you experienced any strange happenings here in the home? And can you tell us in detail what you saw?
Oh, yes. Well, perhaps you should speak with the Baron first, and then...
Well, we want to hear a personal account.
Where is the Baron right now?
I believe he is towards the back of the house.
Should we go there?
Satrin will take you to him shortly.
But we want to know if you, personally, your perception, what you may have seen.
Make a persuasion check.
Please.
I'm gonna look around.
Nat 1.
Ooh.
I'm very sorry. I must. This cloak is sopping wet.
I'm sorry, did I come on too strong?
I will.
Was I-
No. You know what? I'll just let me. I'll take this to the cloakroom.
All right.
Thank you.
And she leaves.
I look around for windows.
You wanted to. I'm sorry.
I wanted to look around the foyer, but
Okay.
also look around.
We'll call this perception checks.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like the candles.
That's a little better, but that's only a 9.
9. You guys are rolling
Real
like
good.
kings today. You take a look around, Billy, and there's an archway between the stairs and the far wall, and that is the only way that you can see out of this to the rest of the house. There are no other doorways in this room, just these stairs that lead up to a landing, the double doors behind you, and then this archway through which she has just disappeared.
Texas.
You take a look around. As I say, it is quite chilly in here. It is very dark. She has left the lamp on the table, but it is still quite dark in here.
Could I also take a look and a sniff around?
Well, we could use some light if someone can do that.
Oh.
You cast the light spell. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or it's
Or
prestidigitation.
Oh, prestidigitation. Or ways.
do in the
You there's like ignite a flame in your hand. Okay. There's a small flame illuminates from your hand, and it helps a bit. The shadows seem almost unnatural. The chill in this place is weird, considering it is, despite the fact that it is overcast and rainy, it is warm and muggy outside. So very strange in here. Yes.
I have dark vision. Can I see anything different than everybody else?
You can see differently. Those two who have dark vision can make out. Now, make out.
Okay.
Sorry.
I gotta go call my boyfriend. I'm sorry.
This is inappropriate. Everyone who has dark vision, make a perception check.
Hey, that's
I can see that from here.
Did either of y'all roll higher than
Hey.
10?
Oh, do I add to it?
22.
11.
5. That was my idea.
Texas, you illuminate the thing in your hand, and it's kind of screws with your vision, and you're having a tough time seeing now with this flame in your hand.
Oh, my bangs.
I'm sorry, 11,
11.
and then 22.
Okay.
The tandem of Vornelia and Cree managed to see pretty clearly here, and you take a look around, and it is this room, and from what you can recall, the outside of the house as well. The house seems new, like newish, like it's not worn. There's nothing. There's not like broken windows. There's not, the doors are all hung straight. There's no wear marks in the wooden on the floors. Everything seems new, but it is super dark in here. And you notice that there are windows on either side of the double doors, and they have big, heavy, thick drapes pulled across them. No light coming through. And it is chilly in here, and we will and Vornelia, in particular, as you're turning around, you see in the wall. Everything else, as I say, in the house seems to be very, very. It's almost immaculate. It's not. It's kind of dusty, but it is not. The house itself does not seem to be in bad shape. But you do notice, kind of counterintuitively to that, there's a very thin, maybe like an inch wide, like a thin, like crack running down above the door.
Could I approach the drapes?
Sure. You walk up to the drapes. They're thick, like a very heavy, like a navy color, like a navy blue.
Can I open them?
Sure.
I open them.
Okay. You pull the drapes apart, and light comes pouring in, and it almost hurts your eyes in doing so. And you can see like the dust motes hanging in the beams of light that come through the sunlight coming in. It illuminates the room.
Looking through the window, looking out the window, does it look like the rest of the house in that it looks really new, or?
Yeah, the window. You mean the window itself look new?
Yes.
Yeah. Make an investigation check.
I'm good at those. 4.
That is definitely a window, and it is closed.
It's a window.
Can I get close to the crack?
Gotta ask permission for that first.
Consent. You would have to. It's above the
approach the
door,
crack.
so like the doors are about 10 feet tall.
Ronan lifted me. Can I get close?
Vernelia, what is it that you spy?
Why do you say it like
There's some sort of crack there.
Here,
Like a
what if I lifted you up? Can you
yes,
see
I
now?
want to see close up.
Okay. You
Or you could just
About
send Thexus
three.
and walk on the
I'm
wall.
6.
Oh, yeah.
I'm 6.
Let him do it.
okay.
That's
So
just
we'll
a
call this a
local
strength
walls?
check
Spider
for
climb.
starters.
Spider climb. And jump, too.
He's a nifty fellow.
Can you detect magic?
Does a
Yes, your strength.
11?
An 11. Yeah, that's enough stuff. You hoist Vornelia up. Vornelia, you're like you cheerlead. You're like standing up, okay, up on his shoulders. And with that, you're able to get a pretty good view of this crack.
So I put on my glasses of minute seeing.
Oh, right, good call.
All right.
Fancy.
To see if they do.
You put on the glasses of minute seeing.
I think that's what they're
Remind us what the glasses of minute
Okay,
seeing do.
these crystal lenses fit over the eyes. While wearing them, you can see much better than normal out of the range of 1 foot. You have advantage on intelligence checks that rely on sight while searching an area or studying an object within that range.
Okay, so you may roll an investigation check with advantage. So roll 2 die 20 and take the higher of the two, adding your investigation modifier.
2, Jesus. Wait, adding what?
Investigation.
Oh, no.
Wait, maybe she's giggling because it's good.
Nope. That's a 10.
A 10. Okay, well that could have been worse.
Right.
So you get up and it, from what you can gather, you seem to feel like that crack is it's got it looks like it's getting a little narrower as it comes down.
I might want to go to the second floor and take a look at this crack.
With that, Satrin comes in.
We were just practicing.
Vornelia, make an acrobatics check.
It was Cirque de Vermilia.
Do I roll this, right?
Roll a 2 die 20 and add your or 1 die 20. I'm sorry, and
That was
add
7,
your
right?
acrobatics.
Just so lame.
8.
An 8. Thankfully, it's not very far off of his shoulders to the ground. You were surprised. You fell off, but you managed to land on your feet without taking any damage.
Oh, they were just admiring your crack.
Excuse me.
There's a crack in the wall there.
That might be dangerous.
I have not even, I will admit, noticed this crack before.
That's all right. We have foundation issues too.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, you do indeed. You are well familiar with them, I'm sure.
Don't need to rub it in.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm familiar with them.
Your house has
Well,
gold.
when was this house built? It looks amazing.
Oh, that's very kind, except for apparently this crack.
Right.
Must have that looked at. It was built 5 years ago.
Oh.
Follow me.
Yes.
And Satrin takes you through this archway at the far end of the hallway. You pass underneath the stairs that go to the landing above, and you can now start to make out faintly some music coming from the back of the house.
In the club.
And it sounds like someone's strumming on a lute, perhaps. Billy, you note. And
Wonderwall?
and upon reaching the door at the back of the manor house, Satrin knocks. The music continues, but a voice calls out, and Satrin opens the door and bids you to go in. The music room is as chilly as the rest of the house, despite the heavy drapes being drawn across the windows, and for some reason, the fireplace is not lit in here to combat the chill in the air at all. There are several sofas and a settee arranged in the room, around there's a grand piano, a big grand piano, and then sort of reclining on one of the settees is a man with he's wearing a dark red satin house coat over black pants and a blousy black shirt. You'd guess he's maybe 30 years old. He's tall and slim, and he's got a almost like white blonde hair that is tousled, and comes to about his shoulders. His long, thin fingers are flowing and running along the strings of this instrument, and his eyes are closed as he seems completely immersed in the music, apparently oblivious to your entrance. The song, you'll note, is quite odd and discordant and jarring. And he continues playing for another few minutes as you're just standing there. Satrin closes the door and walks away, and he's just sitting there rocking back and forth playing this weird, discordant song.
Can I grab my lute and just kind of play underneath him, trying to
Sure, make a performance check.
It's kind of hard to dance to.
I love a good musician.
Oh yeah,
Creo, you're right. I think Cree's
9 plus 8 is
having a seizure.
17.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Dad saying.
This is a hard song, and you're trying to play it by ear, which makes it doubly hard. But you begin to pick it up a little bit. So you pull your lute out and begin to match him, and at which point his eyes open, and his eyes are this like piercing, like blue, and he's just going and then matching you, and as this sort of like very thin smile crosses his face, and he's looking straight at you, Billy. It's
with you.
It is making you uncomfortable, but let's make it a deception check if you're going to try to convince him that you are not unnerved.
That's worse than before. That's 11 total.
An 11. Let's see what his insight check is. You're
all going to dice jail.
He kind of stands up and starts to get a little like closer to you. And now he stops looking at your eyes. Now he's watching your hands on the lute, and he seems to be making it more difficult playing. This guy is very good with this instrument.
Is he tall?
He is tall and
Bex
thin.
blushes.
Baron Usher, more like Baron Jovi.
Hey, Blake. Off the cuff. Blake, bud, don't.
And as he gets closer and watching you, and the song is weird and discordant and unnerving everyone in the room, he gets close to Billy, and he gets right up to you. He goes, "Welcome to my home.
Very lovely house.
Such as it is." And then he begins to back away. Continuing to play while speaking, not stopping. You are familiar players, are you not?
Yeah,
Yes, that'd be us.
Excellent.
And you,
I'm
Baron
Baron
Usher.
Robbert Usher, the lord of this estate, such as it is. I do love this tune. Do you know it?
Well, I was trying to pick it up, but that's one hell of some finger picking there, mate.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's called the Haunted Palace.
Convenient.
It's apt, I should think.
Yes.
you're so weird, aren't you, mate?
I suppose, aren't we all a little weird, aren't we?
Yes.
No.
This is Texas.
Texas. I see. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming.
The tail is just like twitching. Like,
I have not met one of your kind before.
well, I'm the best one there is.
Welcome to my house.
How long you been playing that instrument, mate?
Oh, just a couple of minutes.
No, I mean like for your life.
Yeah.
Oh, how long have I done?
Oh, that's funny.
I misunderstood what you were asking. I have played this instrument for some, I don't know, 20 years or so, since I was quite young.
They're pretty good.
Oh, it's very kind of you to say. It was a challenging piece of music to play.
Very much so.
You invited us here.
I did. It's true. Satrin reached you. I see it. You have arrived.
You seem quite calm for having to deal with spirits.
Well, what could one do? You know, it is a difficult position to be in when your home has strange occurrences, so one goes outside of the home in order to find a solution, you see?
Ah,
Yes.
indeed.
Have you been outside this home
Yeah.
recently or ever?
Have you seen daylight?
Not recently, I have not. My eyes are very sensitive to the light, you see, that causes me great uneasiness, and so I do not go outside if it is not necessary.
Well, then how'd you
see.
hear about us?
How did I hear about you? The
Yeah.
word has reached me of your doings at the Margrave's house. All of the
Oh, wow.
lords,
I thought we did that.
Quite a lot.
Oh, we've done quite.
All of the-
make a lot of noise.
all of the lords and ladies of the region of the North March have spoken highly of the deeds you have done for the Margrave.
I mean, we're pretty.
I had hoped you might be able to solve my little problem.
Baron,
Yes.
where is Lady
is-
Madeline, by the way? She also lives here, right?
My sister, you know, my sister, Lady Madeline Usher,
Yes, your
she's-
messenger.
my twin sister. Oh, he's my valet, not my messenger.
Yeah, I
I'm
see.
afraid my page boy has left some time ago.
Oh, I see. And you
But
said.
Saturn is a stalwart companion, to be sure.
And where did you say your twin sister was?
My twin sister, she is most likely in her chambers. So she does roam the house from time to time.
Oh, I see.
Well, we'd love to get her, if she's noticed anything spooky.
Oh, yes, yes.
So, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Don't mean to
you are
we have-
Sir Knight are a paladin of Iluid, if I am not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. And
She
I'm
is,
surprised you were able to glean that, considering I'm so filthy.
I took it the weather seems quite poor outside.
It does.
Yes.
That
It was
a
quite a trip to get here, so
stinging rain and rain that seems to come up from underneath you.
But it was
indeed.
it was so worth it to be here.
You're very
What?
kind.
Bobby, explain to us.
I'm sorry. Who?
Oh, it's a common
Short
way of
for Robert.
shortening your
It's a
name.
nickname.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
I'm trying to get to the
If you
point.
have a very
We're
short,
from
you
the
may
streets.
see your lordship.
Oh, right.
I'm with the
Your Lordship Bobby, I am curious to
Yes.
hear your account of what is going on in your abode.
Well,
Poet.
You see, for the past, I suppose, begins to count out on his hands. It takes a very long time. He's gone a good 30 seconds
are you
counting
okay?
things. And he sort of shakes his head and his eyes refocus again. He goes, 10 months since or so. There have been strange goings on in the house. I have been privy to some of them, others I have merely heard of. It seems that there are occasionally sounds in the house. I have been told, and I have heard on occasion, the sounds like clanging or chains or banging of metal of some kind.
It's called a dungeon.
And then, of course, I have seen, and you most likely will have noticed. None of you noticed because none of you rolled high enough on your perception. There is the faint smell of smoke or burning, perhaps.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
we know.
Definitely noticed
Yes,
that.
yeah,
First thing we thought, we said, wow, it smells like
It's
burning.
real smoky
Yes,
in
I'm
here.
sure you
I just
did.
smell
I mean,
Sheldrake.
it's not like we smoke a whole bunch of red nanny and we wouldn't understand what other smells
yes.
smell like.
Yeah.
What, do you smell smoke? I don't.
So
We weren't smoking.
it is there are occasionally fires will spontaneously ignite around the house.
Oh,
In different
you saw me in the
rooms?
foyer. Shit.
In different rooms, yes. I find most upsettingly, most frequently in my bedroom chamber.
What lights on fire in your chamber? Anything specific?
The bed lights on fire.
I mean,
Are you in the bed when the light's on fire?
I have not, no, thankfully, experienced that, but I have seen the charred sheets and blankets.
So you've seen the charred sheets, not the actual fire.
I did not see the fire. I have seen the sheets and I have smelled, though I have seen fires elsewhere, sometimes in the hallways, occasionally in other rooms of the house.
Have you ever seen them start before?
I have seen one. Yes, I have seen one start. It was a few months back in the hallway, towards the back of the house on the second floor. I saw just the runner carpet light a fire.
Was anyone around or near you when you saw this occurrence?
Oh no, I was by myself.
You were alone.
Yes. Oh, although I will say the servants were quick to put it out.
Baron, is there anyone that you would consider enemies of your family, or someone who personally dislikes you? Or Madeline, or anyone in the house?
I cannot imagine. We are peaceable people. We do not, in recent years put much interaction with others.
What of your parents?
I will say, well, you mentioned just a moment. I will say I did notice. Well, I can't imagine that this would be the case, but Baron Brendan Parr, who was a neighbor of mine, some 7 or so years ago, we traveled to court in Lorne together, and I was young, and well, I stepped in front of Lord Brendan when being presented at court, and apparently I injured his honor, I suppose, and I believe that put his nose out of joint, and I don't know that has ever been corrected, but I don't know. That would make him an enemy of mine. Mm-hmm. I've had very little interaction with him before or since.
You say you've heard the clanging of chains and banging metal. Have you heard any voices?
I have not heard any voices. I have heard the sounds, and I know the servants have experienced other things. I will say, we do, and he starts to, his like tears start to well up in his eyes a little bit, and he like sort of like, so he steps back from the group and kind of looks down a little bit. I would say that those of us who sleep in the house are occasionally plagued with dreams, horrible dreams of I can't just describe them. They're terrible.
I go and I put a hand on his shoulder.
Can I? Baltex, is that
you got to put a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, just comforting.
Let's call this a.
comfort check.
What kind of skill check would you like to make on this? I'll let you call it.
Persuasion.
Persuasion. I like that.
I do too. Good, because I rolled a 4, which makes it a 12.
Well,
The way you said,
at first he begins to pull away from your hand, and doesn't look at you, and then puts a hand up and pats your hand for a moment.
May I make an insight check?
Sure. What are you?
I want to see
trying to
if
glean?
just see if there's anything he's leaving out.
Okay.
Any kind of specific detail that he may be hiding to maybe put us off trail or something.
Okay.
Why would the pretty boy be hiding anything?
16.
16. You don't get the sense that he is attempting to hide anything, but he hasn't told you everything. I mean, you've had a brief conversation.
Do you know what was on this land before you built your house here?
This has been our home for many generations.
But the house is only 5 years old.
Ah, yes. Yes, this house was built hundreds of years ago. The house that was here before. But there was a fire some years back. 5, in fact.
Oh.
And the house burned. And so
Why
we
did it
built
burn?
upon the land. I am uncertain as to what started the fire.
Anybody die in that fire?
Damn, Cree, just drop it. right
Who
there.
died?
I mean, what were we here for?
Yes, my valet, Belton, he did not make it out of the fire. Everyone else survived, however.
I lean over to Bronin. Belton was melting, right?
And JJ, how close are we to Kieran Tannis? Like we're like in the middle.
Kieran Tannis, yeah, you're not far. I mean, you're
It was great.
I'm just going up. Well, you know what? I can look at a map. You are.
This is a perfect time to donate to the Classical Theatre
right.
Company below in the PayPal link or through the website. All donations are tax deductible, and it goes to provide living wages for artists like us.
We're almost living wages. Wages. We'll call them wages.
Wages.
Wages. You are.
Donate an Uber Eats order to a poor actor in need.
Please.
You're about 10 miles or so from the Teth River.
And your lordship, out of curiosity, was this formerly land of Kieran Tannis?
There was a period of time where the Elven Empire, yes, the kingdom, controlled this region, yes.
Part.
And was
During
your
the occupation.
Was your family directly involved in the acquisition of this land, or was it gifted to you by the Baron?
We were. The Margrave did indeed bestow upon us these lands some years back.
Did your family serve in the war? Sorry, Cree.
No, you're good. You're good. I just had a thought.
We were my
It's a big moment for me.
grandfather, as such, did indeed fight in the Third Great War.
Okay.
We're a bunch of third graders. Oh, great, not grade. Sorry.
Third Great War.
The Third Great War.
I think we've done that before.
Food fight in the cafeteria.
So you say that the people who sleep in the house have been having nightmares.
Yes.
Is that just you and your sister, or is that also the servants?
Servants as well, from what I understand. Satrin has told me so.
The servants have been a bit dodgy about telling us what they've seen. Do you know why that might be?
I could not say. I imagine they wanted you to speak to me first, but you are welcome to speak to anyone in the house if you like. There are but the 3 others.
What of your parents?
My parents perished some years ago. They were in a riverboat accident upon the Teth River, and they both drowned, I am afraid.
When was
Sorry
that?
to hear that.
It was a sad moment for my sister and myself, but we have coalesced, and as you see, are thriving.
Yeah, quite.
Was there anyone?
from
Speaking
boating to
of,
boating.
I imagine. What age were you and your sister when your parents perished?
We were both 12.
Who became your ward until you came of age to inherit?
Satrin took care of us until I came of age to sit the seat of the house.
You said that your sister roams around the house. Is there any way we can gather her here?
My sister has not been terribly well, I am afraid, for some time now. She has not handled well when the house burned, I am afraid. And she, over time, has become worried, you see.
Is that why you keep it dark for her?
Well,
He's good at that thing.
myself as well.
Oh, yeah, you
but
too, yeah. So.
neither of us are particularly fond of the light.
Has it always been that way?
What's that?
Have you always been particularly averse? That's too big a word. Have you always hated the sunlight?
No, it is something that has happened in more recent years. As
Within
we've gotten
5.
older, it has become more sensitive to such things.
Interesting. Oh, I'm sorry, I have one more. Satra mentioned that people have been hurt in these occurrences. Do you know anything about that?
I I understand some of the servants have been injured, though I have not myself received any injury or wound. Thankfully, I'm afraid I would not handle that very well.
Do you know the nature of their injuries? What happened?
I don't, but perhaps I'm sure they would tell you. If you see my sister, you are welcome to speak with her. Though I would ask that you leave both my bedroom and her bedroom private.
I'm not going to sleep.
Sorry.
And
Or are we sleeping?
You're such a
I'm
weird
sorry,
guy.
I'm presuming.
and my study is also off limits. I have documents and deeds there that are personal and private.
Well,
No,
that's
which
very
is what
nice.
you
We
read
love
in
we
there.
love tape
Exactly.
guarding our investigation. That
And,
always helps.
That
But
would
feel
be-
free to roam anywhere in the rest of the house. Speak to any of the servants. Speak to my sister. I'm happy to speak to you at length about whatever topic you desire.
More than happy about. Anyone else got a question?
Well,
Ronan,
I would like to look around the room.
The music room here.
Yes.
Okay.
may I assist you, Browning?
Yes.
I would like to help Browning.
Okay. You may make a
careful. He might
make
talk
the
about
check
how
with,
bad you are at investigating.
advantage.
Why am I picturing you riding around on his back, going like, "Look over there"?
Oh, that! That's what I'm doing to help.
I'm very jealous right now.
Get on! He can take more.
Whoa! A 20 and a 1.
Nat 20.
Thank
all right.
you,
Okay.
Billy.
You
Pointing at something.
Billy's just walking around pointing at things, and Bronan, you're just like a
He just
bloodhound.
gets like right in my ear. Like kind of like tickling. My
You
ear.
begin going around the room, and you're walking around, Bronan, and there's a harp in one corner, like a big golden harp that you play seated. There's as I say, this big, grand piano here, wooden piano, and there's the lute he's put on a stand, so it is in another corner. There's a sitting on a little shelf. There's a variety of like flutes and whistles, and then you are kind of like sifting through like a pile of music, like sheet music, and you find the haunted palace there.
Music.
Yeah, the music, and it is burned in the center.
I'm just gonna like take that.
Okay, we will call that a stealth check.
It's illegal to burn music.
Oh
Wow.
shit!
Wow.
I'll start strumming my guitar and I go, "Private eyes is watching you," just to give him a body of inspiration.
While they're looking around, I'm assuming
Okay, so
we're
that's a die 6.
Die 6, I believe, right
Die 6
now.
inspiration.
still
Okay.
talking to him. Does that?
Oh yeah, baby.
And with that,
Plus a die 6.
Well,
Plus your
plus that, I mean, it's 20 on the board, and then what is this? What am I doing?
It's a stealth.
21.
21.
-1 for your armor.
Oh no, it's disadvantage with your armor.
Oh dear! I really should keep my mouth shut. The viewers at home would be so upset if you did that.
Well,
Hey, Broden, you're making a lot of noise. What are you doing over there? Oh, is that paper?
We're all friends here.
so it'll be a 15.
Okay. You feel like you successfully stashed that that piece of paper.
Could I actually stash it to Billy? That's what I do. Is I go.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Put it
I
on
do-
him,
I
yeah.
do
Billy's been like tickling my ear with his whispers already. I'm like,
I like put the guitar and the lute in front of him.
yeah.
And I tuck it up behind and stick it in my cloak while I'm strumming away.
Okay, Billy. You now have the burned sheet music. Okay. And that's it that you can really find of any particular note in this room. There's a variety of musical instruments, some chairs and settees and whatnot. It's comfortable, chilly, but
Your Lordship, can you give us some details about the dreams that you're having, and if those dreams are similar to the other dreams?
make a persuasion check.
I have to convince him to give me information. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, this is something he doesn't clearly want to talk about.
Well,
so.
he's gonna, because 21.
Texas.
Oh,
use
okay,
your,
all right,
use
nice.
your masculine charms.
I'm
I'm a big boy.
I feel more comfortable speaking to a holy man about this.
Oh, perfect. I'm the cleric.
Yes, yes. Oh, I see that.
What? No,
It's on your name tag.
the trickster cleric.
I will say the dreams are difficult. They are always of my sister being burned alive
Oh, that's right.
in front of me.
Does she scream?
What kind of?
Whoa. Details.
She screams and is writhing in pain before perishing at my feet,
And
and
you
I can do nothing to help her.
Do you feel the heat in the dream, or is it simply visual?
It is. It is just a vision. Thankfully, though, when I awaken, I find often my left leg is stiff. When I awaken, it is difficult to move.
You feel
For a
like
few
you're straining
minutes.
during the dream.
Excuse me.
Possibly because you're straining during
It
the
is
dream.
possible. It is possible.
You have char marks on the back of your pants.
I do not have any char marks on any of my clothing.
But when you sleep, didn't you say your bed
Not
has
when I
char
sleep.
marks?
Occasionally, I do not sleep in it as when it is on fire.
No, but you don't see it catch on
Bronin,
fire.
Bronin, Bronin.
What's
I'm
your-
confused.
Usher, Baron, your lordship, do you, how do your dreams and the burns or fires that occur in their home, are they closely interconnected? Do you have a dream and then a burn happens in the house at some point, or does a burn happen in the house and then you have a dream, or there's any sort of connection there?
Do not seem related that I can tell.
What's
Are
your
there-
sis- Go ahead, you haven't said
No,
anything.
that's fine.
What's your sister's name?
Madeline, the Lady Madeline Usher.
Are you very close?
It's Madeline with two N's and a Y, but not what you think.
Oh.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Reference to, don't worry about it. Anyways,
Sorry.
they're twins also, so there's that twin
twins.
connection.
Are you very close
It's a
to your
comic.
sister?
We are very close.
Do you finish each other's sentences?
Does she
and all
dream
that?
about you burning up?
She has seen me die in her dreams. She has told me in the past.
Are there any ways into the manor? You know, it's an old piece of land. Are
It is.
there any other ways into the manor that are like
Passages.
yes, like
beneath.
secret passageways?
Oh yeah, like that crack.
What crack?
Oh, you know,
First floor.
in the foyer. There's
crack.
There's
You
a
guys
crack.
aren't help. The man's got anxiety.
Oh, there's a
a
crack in
crack.
the building. It's what did you say it looked like?
It seems to be getting larger as it goes up.
Ah, yes.
I do want to go
So
upstairs
as it's going
and take a
down,
look
it
at
looks
your
like
crack.
it's barely cracking, but it looks like it may be going down.
It's above the
cracking down
door, I
more, yeah.
believe.
Oh, I've
Right,
not
right.
noticed. I'm afraid I have not gone through those doors in some time.
What?
How long?
To
Maybe we-
upstairs?
Should talk to the.
I have not gone through the
Saturn
front
and
doors.
the
You
rest of
say
the servants.
Oh.
there's a crack above the door. I'm afraid I have not been
Right.
through those doors in some time. I have not noticed.
Is there a basement here?
There's a wine cellar.
Is that an original from the previous home that was built on top of, or was that an addition?
It is. Although we lost all of the wine in the fire. It was gutted, but
Damn, I love a good vintage.
it still remains. The structure is similar.
And you said it's okay if we look around the house,
You may, of course,
say
yes.
the 2 bedrooms and your office space.
Yes, please.
And could we look in the office space with you present?
I suppose, yes, that would be fine if you would like.
Maybe we should take a look around the house and see.
I like that idea. Should we confer amongst ourselves figure out what we want to touch on before we move forward?
Yes.
Huddle, group huddle.
Huddle up, huddle up, huddle
Are
up.
there any plans?
You can leave now.
Of the house?
Any plans of the house? Oh no, I'm afraid the drafters did not leave any plans when they built the house.
So, I've come up with a list of things that it could possibly be. First,
He's standing like right here.
No,
you don't want
This is for
to.
players. This is company.
I have one final question before this huddle.
Hurry up.
Unhuddle.
Have you
yes.
ever considered that the reason why there are fires in this house is because it's so cold? Because it is pretty cold in here.
Is it? I'm afraid I had not noticed. You see, I get my sister and I find ourselves getting easily warm. I find.
Well, the lack of vitamin D from not seeing the sun might cause hallucinations as well.
I will note. I'm afraid I'm not familiar with this vitamin C you speak of.
D.
but
Anyways, huddle up.
D.
Excuse us.
This gentleman. One more question. This Baron Brendan Parr.
Yes, Brendan Parr. Yes.
Has he ever cursed you? Like said some crazy
Well, I think that would be like the first thing you would have told us. Well, I was cursed years ago.
Oh, slipped my mind.
Based on his previous behavior, does it seem on par with something that he would do?
God damn it.
I'm regretting ever letting you into my home.
Here's another question. Did a witch
everyone
come
says
in
that.
and sprinkle something on it?
I cannot say, Mistress Druid, whether I was cursed, though that seems somewhat unlikely. Although I'm sure he has spoken ill of me. I have no doubt. I have heard as such, I think.
All right, fifth one, possible.
What were you
Can't deny the
wearing when you
results.
stepped in front of him in court?
For new.
Never mind. Okay, let's.
Goat's hoof.
What's wrong with hoofs, though?
All right. I just wanted to know what kind of outfit.
All right,
Okay.
huddle up now. All right.
Excuse us.
We'll be over it.
You can play some music though while we do this.
No, please don't. God, I mean, I don't want you to waste your talents on an audience that's not really
If
attentive.
music be the food of hauntings, play on.
So,
Ghostbusters.
I have a list of things I think possibly, and I'm willing to open it up to suggestions.
all right,
The
let's
first
hear
one, Poltergeist. Ever heard of
I do love a chicken toast.
Demigorgon, those are in right now. Demigorgons are really in. Possible.
Fire?
I heard it.
We haven't seen the sister yet. Might be a possession. Also, the very rare, but you never know. Chupacabra. They are seasonal.
Fire?
Ooh,
Yes,
We
yes.
should check for puncture marks.
Yes.
You speaking Dwarvish?
And now,
no,
Mish.
I've even included the possible curse, but what are the odds of that?
But
I'm
I
willing
mean,
to hear
none of these
anything.
things have anything to do with fire.
We're considered
Yes, well,
distant
I don't know a lot.
because
Perhaps we should check the cellar too. That is an original part of the former
Oh,
house.
he does have wine. Very good
I
idea.
want to get a close look at that crack.
I just think he's
We should
pretty.
probably split up. Is that which?
And we should probably
At least in
interview-
pairs.
Interview
Shaggy, Scooby, you go that way.
Yeah, we should interview.
Wait, which
the,
one's Scooby?
Yes.
You are. Yes. Ruh-roh.
I'm not the snorty one. Oh, gee, Creed.
So yes, I agree.
You're
We
still the
should
snorty one.
speak to the help, the servants.
The hell.
Wow.
Man,
Ronan,
Ronnie's
whoa.
changed you, dude.
Wow. No, it's Ronan. He's
Oh,
older.
you're not supposed to say that?
He's older. They
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
I think you call them the servants now, bro.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's still okay to
I
say.
am sweating now because I have said something offensive in a made-up world. What the hell?
I do
It's
think
real to
also,
me, man.
If we need to keep an eye out for Lady Madeline, she's roaming around, which is highly inconvenient.
I also want to maybe check in on Satrine. He was their guardian.
Satrin?
Satrin. Whatever his name is.
100% Satrin.
It's 100% Satrin. Thank you. That's going to stick now. We should maybe check with Satrin. Maybe he knows something that the Baron's not saying about that time with his parents.
Yes.
Should go ahead and look in the bedrooms and
No.
No,
He's
I
very
don't
weird.
think we should do that. I think that's a very big violation of this man's privacy.
I'll find a way in.
It sounds
Oh.
like he's showing off
I
because
see
he
what-
doesn't have a lot of guests.
Oh, also, one thing. Sorry, break huddle. Compensation. You see, we are an adventurous group. And
300
Ah,
gold
yes.
coins.
No, well, I'm certain Saturn will have mentioned to you, I have offered 300 gold pieces for the successful solution
Yes.
to this particular issue.
I was also hoping for maybe some of your sheet music.
Some of the sheet music.
Yes.
Certainly, you may help yourself. to
Why?
it if you would.
I was trying to play off that I forgot.
The,
I
See with the
suppose
wine.
you're welcome. Are you a musician yourself?
No, I'm an actor.
We're working on it.
I was an actor. Not anymore.
You're still an actor.
well,
who
what have
said
you
that?
done lately?
Nothing.
Could I walk over to him and put a hand on his shoulder and then
20%?
reach into my pack and pull out a handful of walnuts and can I just say, I'm sorry for your loss, Walnut?
You, Kree, you go up and we're going to call this a persuasion check.
The northern walnuts.
Oh, babe. Oh, babe.
What you got? A 1. Well, what is modified, though? Do you have a persuasion bonus or a modifier of some sort? So it's a 3. That's what you're telling me.
it's
you
a 2.
are-
Oh, it's a 2.
it's a 2 total. Okay, great. So you walk up and you put your hand on his shoulder, and he's like, you're way too rough, and he winces as you slam your hand down on his shoulder, and then you thrust the nuts right into his face.
Wait, hold on.
They're like right on his chin, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm very allergic to nuts.
Eat one.
No, thank you. I will
Kree, he's
become
allergic.
very-
Kill him.
What's that? What's
You are-
that?
you are
What's that?
kind.
I'll take one.
from nuts.
Did you eat it with the shell on?
Well, okay, well, if you don't like nuts, I've got jerky. Would you like some jerky?
No, I'm
can't thrust your nuts
quite
into him and
fine.
expect
My
him to
stomach
take a
is
jerk.
very sensitive. I can
Oh,
only
you
eat
poor
a few
thing.
things.
Can I have a game question?
Yes.
Kree know what a vampire is.
History check.
We'll call this. I guess a history check. Yeah, you may make a history check.
Okay.
You ever seen
Do I
Twilight?
know what
Use
a
a
vampire
different dice.
It's a
Yeah, none
vampire.
of mine are doing anything good, so.
Come on.
1.
Venommies.
We said history?
History.
Is this our first history roll? Just a second.
6.
A 6. No, you don't have any. You don't have the faintest clue what a
Alright.
vampire is.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Matt. I just wanted to offer my condolences, I suppose.
Oh no, that's quite all right. Thank you.
Well, we'll go looking around and investigating.
Please allow me to recommend and advise you
Yes.
to my home to stay the night. We have rooms on the second floor.
He's inviting us.
You may
Wait, chill.
perhaps experience some of these occurrences.
Sounds
if you would
fun.
like.
You got blankets? Because it's a bit drafty.
We have guest rooms, 2 up on the top floor. They have 3 beds, which should suffice. You must split, of course, as if you would like. If you would like a bed, they are there.
I'll take a bed.
Right.
Very
good.
kind of you, Baron.
Excellent. That's not a problem.
I can share.
Saturn, you are very eager,
I
young
just,
Thexis.
I've got leopard seed. I just.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that.
Very not contagious.
If it lasts more than 4 hours, you need to call someone.
All right.
So, are you wanting us to sleep now? Are you telling us to go to bed?
No, it is. Unless you would care to, I'm just saying. If you would like, there is no rush. We will have dinner this evening.
Oh,
You're
all right.
welcome to join us
So we can
And the
go
events typically.
investigate
Oh, sorry.
and eat.
and
Yes, let's.
spend the night if you would like.
Okay. No,
I think we'll take you up on that offer.
Sorry to ask one more, but the events typically occur at night. Is when they're.
They do not seem to have any particular time of day. That's to my knowledge. However, the dreams are always at night.
Sure, that's
So
when
no
you sleep.
nap dreams.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, indeed, no nap.
I love a good nap.
Dreams.
Nap dreams.
Well, shall we split up and start looking around?
Yes.
All right.
I guess we're
Anyone?
splitting
Crack.
up.
That sounds like a terrible.
We could.
Splitting up would take, I think,
Are you offering?
a long time. How about let's exit the room together?
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. You step back out into the hallway. This room is on the back of the manor house, at the opposite, in the far corner from where you came in. You step out into a hallway. There's a doorway in front of you, and there's also another doorway just down the hallway a little bit.
For those of you
right.
that can see in the dark quite well, I keep an eye out for this twin sister. I'm assuming they look alike. Well, we should have asked with it. You don't have to open the door. Just can you tell us? Are you fraternal twins or like?
She's
identical?
a girl.
They have different genders.
Well, they're twins. They can still be identical.
We were.
It's true. What is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, that's a thing.
Can you be identical and
Yeah.
Male and female.
You can still look alike.
You
never seen
can
this?
look
you can
alike,
look
but
alike,
you're not
but
identical.
This doesn't seem
It's still
relevant to the discussion. That being said,
with many twins.
I suppose if you're watching this and you're in the chat and you have knowledge about whether twins can be identical twins can be born with opposite sexes, then
No.
please let us know.
I think we're wrong.
Until that point, no, we are fraternal twins, so we have very similar traits. I'm sure you would recognize her.
Oh, so that's what I want to hear.
Is she a good conversationalist like you?
She is difficult to
Why are
talk
we still
to.
here?
Bit of a space cadet.
She is
What's that?
worried. She is worried.
What color's her hair?
Probably blonde.
Looks like mine.
And it's
All right, well, thanks for your time. Lovely to meet you.
Yes, indeed.
Can I get some of that jerky?
Yeah, here you go. Anybody want a walnut? I feel a bit like...
You keep offering.
Yeah,
Can you crush this?
trying to get rid of...
This is dust. I guess I'll thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm heading upstairs to take a look.
not that kind of crack.
Pieces.
I'm taking upstairs. I'm going upstairs to take a closer look at the crack. Does anyone want to come with me?
Mayor, why don't I'll go?
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so you're going up. You want to get a little closer look at the crack, or you want to go upstairs?
I want to go upstairs.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But doesn't it go upstairs?
So yes. But it goes up. So the foyer that you walk in, the entryway,
Oh, it's like
is 2 stories tall.
I see.
So it goes up and then disappears into the ceiling.
You know what we could do? Because Texas has got these brilliant boots, right? Boots of climbing. You've got something of climbing. Are you all
Dexter, are you
right?
daydreaming of that?
Oh, he's thinking about the Baron.
Texas.
Well, no, give them
Were you
a
thinking
moment.
about you thinking about the ghosts?
What?
Hi, what?
Texas, can you carry me on your back up to see the crack closer?
Not his, the one on the wall.
Oh, on my back for the crack? Yeah, sure. What's up?
There we go.
I just want to take a closer look at that. Weird crack.
Would anyone care to go interview the servants with me?
You're gonna go in the servants?
Are we pushing up
Well, I mean, if no, no.
How about we just call them into the foyer as they're looking?
So we can keep an eye on everyone.
that way we're not leaving.
Let's just go into the foyer and start screaming.
So
Where is everybody? Everybody come out here.
So you guys are gonna. The group is gonna move into the foyer, into the entryway.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
You move back out into the foyer,
Ice? Is there ice?
Saturnn is coming down the steps. As you do so, and he's no longer wearing his cloak, and he's got a nice looking like hose,
He's naked.
like knickers and hose, and a long coat on, and he comes down and goes, you are done with the Baron?
No,
For the
I
best.
mean,
For the moment.
I see. All right. Yes. Will you be staying with us for the evening?
believe that,
So
yes.
staying for dinner and staying the night.
I will. I see. Well, I'll make sure Annabelle and I will make sure the rooms upstairs are prepared for you.
He also said that we should go speak to Annabelle right away.
I see.
I mean, not Annabelle,
Madeline.
Lady Madeline. I'm sorry.
But I'll speak to
Sorry.
Annabelle if you need someone to talk. Do you need someone to talk to Annabelle?
That's actually Saturn. Before
Yes.
dinner preparations
Didn't
begin being made, and I imagine the beds are upstairs. Could you gather the entire servant staff to just answer a few questions for us?
Well, we're quite busy at the moment. I must prepare.
Can
the
you
rooms, but
please?
I will see. Although I'm
We lived in a bar for a little while.
I imagine Monty is going to be rather busy preparing supper this evening, so
Okay, we
perhaps
can talk to him later.
Okay, well, yes, just a moment.
Check on the menu later.
Lack of urgency.
Thank you.
He turns back around and goes back up the stairs.
Appreciate you.
You're now standing in the foyer. You're gonna wait.
You're gonna look at that crack.
Look at the crack. Okay. So I climb onto Thexus's back.
I'm a scrawny boy.
Okay, you stand up on Thexus's back.
He's standing sideways.
We're gonna call this a straight strength check.
Oh,
Wait,
this
if
is gonna go
he's
so
standing this way,
well.
you're here.
You
Now
could ride him like that.
I was gonna.
And he could just walk up the wall.
Oh, wait.
It's not terrible.
What do you got?
Can I
15.
transform
Okay,
into
that's
a
enough.
mouse?
I do, Vornelia,
Yes.
Thexus bends his legs, and you sort of climb up.
That's my horn.
Using his one good horn to vault yourself up, and you are now standing on Thexus's shoulders. You now have a stocky dwarf upon your shoulders.
Wait, she's standing on his shoulders?
Yes.
Oh.
This is not how I imagined this would go. Okay.
How are you gonna stay?
Up we go.
I'm not gonna ask questions.
Oh.
We're in a fantasy world.
You hold on. Cheerleaders. As someone who was a cheerleader in high school,
Were you really?
truly,
Exactly
that's a
right there.
very common. Anyway, yes, you're up.
Going up the wall.
Okay. Oh, I see. All right. So, so you're going to you going to make your way up the wall using your ring of spider climb. is that
Madeline
correct?
walks in.
So you are now you're now up. You're it's a good 20 plus feet to the ceiling. So you're now Vornelia. You're up pretty high
If you fall, I can't catch you.
near the ceiling. I mean, you could reach it if you put your hands up.
Okay. I'd like to do a
little
wow.
dance.
I'd like to detect magic.
Okay. So you're going to cast detect magic now. You can use it as a ritual. That is 10 minutes.
Oh,
Hey.
please no. Please no.
So you begin to
gonna be here a
ritualize
while.
the spell and reaching out, trying to pull the power from nature, which is what courses through your veins, Vornelia. You connect to the ground. You reach through, like it's a sense. You almost like reach out from your body down to the ground, to the earth beneath you, and it is foul.
Gosh, you're on top of me.
It is foul, but you are able to connect to nature by pushing through it. But something is very wrong, and you're maybe 5 minutes into this ritualization when Satrin returns with Annabelle. They're coming down the stairs, and they're just staring as they come down the stairs at the tiefling who is spider climbed up the wall and has a dwarf meditating on his shoulders.
She's vibrating as
It's
a
all right.
normal.
All in a day's work.
Don't be alarmed that we are specialists here. We follow all OSHA rules.
That is quite something.
Cornelia,
I've
you're
seen that
paying for
before.
my chiropractor after this.
Hello, Annabelle. Good to see you again.
Oh, yes, it's nice to see you too.
So fun to see you
Delric
here.
can flirt, but it's weird when I do.
We wanted to ask the both of you. We have been told that people in the house have been experiencing dreams or nightmares at night.
Oh.
And we wanted to know if possibly your dreams are the same.
Yes, we have both experienced this, I believe. He looks at Annabelle and she looks down and nods.
So you see someone burning alive.
Yes,
Who do you see?
I see my father. I have seen. I have seen my childhood sweetheart, and then I also saw both of my parents in front of me.
So you'd say, the two of you, you've seen the person closest to you burn alive in your dreams.
Yes, always someone very close to us. The other servants, there was a full staff. A year or more ago. We are all that remains. They could not
Bear it any longer.
bear it any longer.
Did they also have the same dreams? A very close loved one burning alive.
Yes, they all did.
Did the burning take place in the house somewhere? In your dream, was it in a certain room of the house?
No, it was not for me.
Where was
Nor
where
I.
did
It
yours
was.
take place?
It was in a variety of places.
It was just an open void kind of thing? No recollection?
My childhood home. It has been on the grounds here as well.
So everyone has one constant variable, and that is it is someone very close to them that they love very much, yes?
Yes, that seems to be consistent.
I'm gonna be sick.
Not on me.
No,
Please,
it's totally normal.
please don't be sick.
Satrin, you have been with the family the longest, it sounds like.
Yes, that is correct.
And Annabelle, were you here before the first fire 5 years ago, before the house was built?
Yes. She looks very sad.
Were these nightmares occurrences in the previous home, or has this only occurred in the new home?
This only occurred in the home. They only began some 10 or so months ago.
And what was the name of the loved one you mentioned? If you don't mind me asking.
You're asking about it.
Satrin mentioned a childhood.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Donate to Classical Theatre Company now.
That's a fun name.
Donate.
Marnie.
Monty?
Marnie.
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 Marty. Oh.
Money.
Down.
Yes, please, my shoulders.
Satrin, also, the Baron told us that he slighted Baron Brindenpaw, several years ago, about 5 years ago.
Oh, yes. That was rather a thing.
Have you or any of the Baron's immediate family been contacted by the Brindenpaw estate or the Baron himself? A letter angrily denouncing them or...
Well, to my knowledge, he looks at Annabelle and she shakes her head.
Okay, careful, Fornelia. Okay, let's get down.
Have you seen Lady Madeline around?
Yes, I just left her, in fact.
Oh, splendid.
And where is the most recent fire? Where did that occur?
They both look at each other. It was, it seemed to be 3 days ago, is that correct? Yes, 3 days ago, I think that's right. It was in the linen closet in the back of the house here.
Sheet.
Is it still in disrepair or has it been mended already?
The floor is still a bit charred, I'm afraid, but that will come out with time. I just haven't got around to it yet.
I would like to take a look at that at some point, if possible.
Certainly.
Have the burns occurred in a sort of pattern, or did it start one place, did it move its way down, or does it seem to be at random?
They seem to be quite random. But wouldn't you agree, Satrin? Yes, I'm far as I can tell, there seem to be no consistency, time or place.
May I?
Cornelia lands on the.
Texas flops onto the ground.
You're gonna fall?
No, we've
been climbing down.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. I was gonna say, because that is a long way to fall down. You make your way down and ease Cornelia off your shoulders.
Thank God I only got the one.
Is Satrin, is he wearing gloves currently?
He is.
May I see your hands? With the gloves removed.
Yes. And he pulls off his gloves, and his right hand is got a very bad burn across the palm of it.
Do I notice a particular pattern, or is it just a burn mark?
It's just a burn across
How
his hand.
fresh is it?
You have to make an investigation check.
You poor man, how'd that happen?
Let's get there.
Not good.
Can I make an investigation check?
Hold on.
4.
It just looks like a burn. You're not really sure how long it's been like that.
Ouch, boo-boo.
Yes, sir. Well, it seems,
I gotta ask you how long.
occasionally, the servants in the house, we have experienced household objects becoming very warm. This was a pot I picked up by the handle, which should not have been hot. It was not on the fire, and it burned me very badly.
So it's not. It's objects catching fire. It's not people catching fire.
No, it is these objects, household objects, even objects that should not be hot. Rooms.
Have others?
And he looks at Annabelle, and Annabelle looks up, and she like rubs her shoulder underneath her blouse. She shakes her head.
Oh.
Have you also been injured in some way?
Yes, but I've been burnt.
And how were you burned?
We all have. I leaned the broom against me to reach to grab something, and it was immediately burning hot.
Was anyone in the room when these burns occurred for either of you?
No, we were each alone. I don't think.
You think? Well, it's dark, isn't it? So it's hard really to see around you.
It is very dark in the house. Yes.
So it's possible that somebody else could have been in the room when these burns occurred then.
It is possible, I suppose. Yes.
And
Perhaps it seems unlikely, though. But,
Well, some people roam around the house. You never know.
that is true.
Why do you stay?
Wow, look at that.
Oh my God,
Sisterhood.
sisters.
But I have a sense of duty to the Usher family. They are the last two Ushers, Lady Madeline and Lord Robbert. And
But surely the Baron isn't keeping you here by any sort of force or...
no, but I shall not. He kind of stands up straight and pulls down his vest. I will not leave my position as his lordship's valet.
Annabelle, you feel the same way?
I am her ladyship's maid. If were I to leave, I fear for her safety in the long run, if left to her own devices.
Rowan's got
You
questions.
could take.
Good.
You had your hand raised.
did.
So
No,
I want you to
Broden,
say what you had
speak.
to say.
You have something to say, Broden, say it. I'll give you 5.
Can it, pickle
4,
brain?
3.
What's a pickle?
Sorry.
I am very cautious in asking you this. I understand it's a very touchy subject, but do you yourself trust the Baron? Has his behavior changed
Who are you asking this?
to the group?
Okay, you're asking, do you trust the Baron?
Yeah. Has his behavior changed
Yes.
or altered in any sense since this has happened?
Well, he has become strange. Stranger. He's always been a bit odd, both he and his sister.
Nothing wrong with a bit.
But but he has been different since the house
More
burned,
erratic?
and then as these strange events have been occurring, he has become more manic.
Has he ever lashed out at either of you?
I mean, not out of the ordinary, I don't think.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, on.
With no components, no spell slots components, and I want to see when he's lashed out.
Who's in whose mind?
The one who just said that.
Okay, that was Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Okay, so can you just describe to me what this tells you?
You can cast Detect Thoughts. You mean the Detect Thought spell?
Well, yes, if that's what it allows you to do.
Requiring no spell slot or components, and you must finish a long rest to do it again.
Okay.
Detect Thoughts. Detect. Where the fuck is it? For the duration, you can read the thoughts of certain creatures. When you cast a spell, at certain ends, you can focus your mind on any one creature you can see within 30 feet. If it has an intelligence of 3 or lower, it doesn't speak any language. The creature is unaffected.
Okay. She seems to have a series of flashes over the years where she has seen him have like a tantrum, a spoiled aristocrat, but nothing that you haven't seen in your own life, Delric.
Do I also see anything with Lady Madeline?
You see of Lady Madeline?
Both of them, yeah, the two of them, like
him lashing out at.
She's not thinking of that at the moment. She's thinking of him. That was the question that I asked.
All right.
Satrin and Annabelle, you also described the sound of clanging metal and chains dragging around the house.
Yes.
Is there any place that it sounds particularly loud, or is it cacophonous, or is it faint in the distance?
Seems, when I have heard it, and I have heard it on many occasions now, it always seems to be quite close. It is distinctly chains. I would not call it anything else, though I see nothing.
Oh. Thank you very much.
I think we should talk to Lady Madeline now.
Could I ask one more thing? Did you ever meet the former valet? Did you know him?
Who are you asking us?
Both of. Did either of you
yes.
know?
Oh yes, we knew him quite well. I've been with the house. I was the butler before I was his lordship's valet as well, and I have seen. I knew my predecessor quite well, though I dare say, not perhaps as well as others. And he glances at Annabelle, and she goes beet red.
And I'm still
kind of
detecting thoughts over the minute, so I see all of that.
Okay.
Annabelle.
You
great
see
souffle
in her thoughts they were an item.
I'm feeling sick now.
And
You have a walnut.
they were very clearly together, and she is. She seems to have good memories of him, but everything has changed with sadness.
Stop detecting.
He died in the fire previously.
Which is, you're the only person who sees any of that, by the way. Don't forget.
I'm sorry to press too much, but do you know anything about what happened to him that night? The night of the fire?
We do not know. The fire. I believe the fire started in the kitchen, from what I understand, and we evacuated the house as quickly as possible. Most everyone got out, except, and he just kind of gets quiet and looks down a little bit, and Annabelle, like a tear now rolls down her chin.
Did you ever find a body?
Yes. We found the body. We found the body. It's it's hard to talk about. Even a few years later, Belton was he was a good man, and Delric, make a history check. And actually, Bronan, you can as well.
That is a 12.
I literally rolled a 12. Hold on. History? Mm-hmm. It's an 11.
An 11. Okay.
Really? -1 history, baby.
Yeah, Delric, you know from your background growing up yourself, a lord, that relationships between servants is
Nasty.
not
Allowed.
really it's not a thing that
frowned upon.
is frowned upon. It's not a thing that is it's not frowned upon.
Don't dip your broom in the company bucket.
Exactly. Just like my nana always used to say. And
Naughty.
that is the it's so you're still gleaning thoughts. You can tell that this is a sensitive thing that she does not want to talk about because it will reflect badly upon her and the household. She says that he was a good man. Yes, Bronin.
When would be a good time to talk to the chef?
Oh, well, I believe Amonte is already back preparing supper for the
Dinner
evening.
is going to happen, Brian.
I don't. I'm not necessarily hungry. I want to talk to the chef about it. But I could eat too.
Did Monty,
she's only had a walnut.
Was Monty here during that fire?
Amonte, yes, he was. He was among the staff as well.
Do you have a question?
I did, and I forgot it. So come back to me in 2
God.
seconds.
Josh, you literally...
Did anyone what's his name?
Belton?
Belton. No, not the dead one. The one that's
the one that's no
living
longer
one.
here.
100% saturated.
Satrin. Did anyone in the family enjoy the arcane? Maybe have a proficiency in the occult arts?
No, I'm afraid not to my knowledge. And he looks back up the wall where you guys were 20 feet over his head when he came down the stairs.
Satrin, if we were to go upstairs, what room would be directly above that crack?
The roof. That would lead to the 3rd floor, which is where the servants are quartered.
Try and shoot pennies.
Oh, tell me, Cedric, how did the lords and the lady, how did the ushers feel about Annabelle's relationship with Belton, knowing that it's often frowned upon that servants collaborate together?
You're asking this to Satrin in front of Annabelle.
Excuse me.
Hold on,
Isn't it enough that you own everything about these people? You have to own their private love lives too? It's disgusting.
If you knew anything about me, you know I don't own anything. But you don't, because we haven't heard my backstory.
Please cease this.
But I say this
Can I
because
get a walnut and just?
if it's possible that maybe someone else fancied Beltran as well, somebody in power, who knows? But I ask you, because was there any sort of reprimand that was offered to the two of them? Was it secret, or was it known? This is absolutely relevant to the investigation.
But rude.
It is not me to speak on such matters. I leave it to the young halfling lady. If she would care to answer, she may do so. She is blushing wildly. You need to make a persuasion check.
I still can detect thoughts.
Okay, but you still need to make a persuasion check.
Remember when we said Delric was a douchebag earlier?
Whoa, hold on. 10.
And you said it's for a minute. A minute has passed, so you're no longer detecting
14.
thoughts. 14. Your detect thoughts has ended, by the way. She says, I don't know what you're speaking of directly, but Belton and I were very close, and to my knowledge, neither his lordship or her ladyship knew of that closeness.
To your knowledge.
As far as I know.
Right.
I must say, you keep an amazing home. I don't know why anyone would want to work for humans, but I mean, if you want to, it's great. Is it possible that perhaps someone in the servants' quarters may have longed for a connection with their loved ones that may have passed on and may have, I don't know, unwittingly opened a portal to hell?
Well, that's a great question. That's really on the nose. Way better than mine.
To my knowledge, there are no portals to any of the hells or otherwise upon this property.
What do you mean there's more?
Though I cannot say whether something unknowing has occurred. I suppose it is possible,
Well,
mistress.
Definitely
well,
investigate
thank
the
you for your
servants' quarters.
time. Do you mind pointing us in the way, you said, Annabelle, you said you'd just been with the Lady Madeline. Could you point us in her direction, please?
I left her. She was lying down in her chamber. She was not feeling well.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we could take her some tea.
I believe it is best that her ladyship remain undisturbed for the moment. But I'm sure you will have an opportunity.
Will she be down for dinner later?
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Annabelle, we would like to speak with her. If there is a point that we can go visit with her, would you
Yes.
be our envoy to maybe introduce us?
Yes, of course. I'm sure she would. I will say, her ladyship is troubled.
What do you mean?
I'm getting that.
What do you mean by that? What does
Difficult
that mean?
to speak to. She is distracted often
Oh, me too.
and difficult to get clear thoughts to and from occasionally.
Me too.
So she's a bit spacey.
I suppose you might say that.
Me too.
Does she commune with? Never mind.
Elliot.
Does she commune
Subtext.
with?
The portal to hell?
No, I don't want to cast any negative light on your ladyship. But
I understand. That's kind of you. There have been many who've said. There are many rumors about her ladyship from her strange behavior.
Oh, nice.
Earlier you said you worried for her, to be left alone with herself. Are you worried that she might hurt herself or someone else?
That is a primary concern. Yes,
So
I'd be worried that she could not take care of herself if left to her own devices, and perhaps if his lordship were in a better frame of mind, he might be able to assist her. But I'm afraid he is not.
Has she been burned before?
Burned.
The way you have?
Not to my knowledge. I don't believe so.
do you ever have gatherings here, like a ball? What do rich people
Guests.
do?
Sounds
Like,
like
What do rich people do?
We have not. We do not
Usually
have.
someone
auctions,
hosts. You would not host a ball here. It's too cold.
We do not
tonight.
have
Spooky.
social events here. We haven't in a long time now. Not since the house burned.
Well, you could certainly
So
host a
he's
hide-and-go-seek game, because can't see a thing.
Well, I did open those drapes. Those are a bit brighter, really.
The drapes have been closed since while you were gone.
Wow.
Gang, I was wondering, do we want to go talk to the cook, or I'm kind of curious about going to the servants' quarters or the wine cellar just to look
Me
around.
too, and also the linen closet with the burnt floor.
And I need to speak to your... I forget, you can't read minds. I have a lot to tell you.
Did you just say that out loud?
Well,
Yes.
I communed with that crack, and I've got to
They're
tell
still
you.
standing right now.
Why don't we make our way to the kitchen, and on the way we can speak to one another and then go talk to Mom?
Sure, that sounds a good idea.
Yes.
What's the pretty one's name?
Annabelle.
Sexist.
Annabelle.
Bronan.
Well, yes.
That's thrown in.
Yeah, Annabelle. As my room is being prepared, can you make sure that I have like 3 hot water bottles in my room?
I will fill 3 bottles
What's up?
with warmed water.
Yes, thank you. Hot, not warm.
Yeah,
hot.
very hot.
Yes.
Make sure that
Yes.
there are 3
Crabs are a
bottles
bitch.
filled with the hot water.
Thank you.
And extra chips and salsa. Anyways.
Let's go ahead.
Okay, you leave the 2 servants a little perplexed in the foyer, and you head back towards the back of the house. And with that, we will take a 10-minute break.
Thank you, Ted.
And thank you. We will be back. We'll back in about 10 minutes. Please, in the meantime, please, if you have not yet donated to the Classical Theater Company, we ask that you please do so. You can do so by going to our PayPal information below in our Twitch channel, or you can go to classicaltheater.org and donate directly there. If you follow us here on Twitch and you make the donation, you'll be entered to win this super cool piece of art by our very own Mark Alba of all of the party members of To Be or RPG. And we will call your name out at the end of the night if you're a winner. And if you have not yet voted on the name for the Merely Players Tower, Hijinks Hold, or Slapty Dash Tower, those options are available to you. Please comment in the chat for your vote, and we will log it. So thank you so much. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Hello, and welcome back to the second part of tonight's episode of To Be Your RPG. I am your Dungeon Master, J.J. Johnston, which I don't think I told you at the beginning, so if you didn't know who I am, my apologies. I mean, not that it's really important. I mean, anyway, it's important to some people. Me, my mom, if you're watching, Mom. Anyway, we are back for part 2. If you have not yet donated to the Classical Theater Company, well, shame on you, but now's your chance. Make a tax-deductible donation by either finding the information below to our PayPal in our Twitch channel below, or going directly to classicaltheater.org and donating there. That's the whole reason that we do all this, by the way. We try to raise money for the Classical Theater Company. So any amount will get you entered to would be appreciated, and will get you entered to win this super cool print. We'll name someone who follows us here on Twitch and who has donated even $1 to the Classical Theater Company will be entered to win this cool piece of artwork of the entire party of the Merely Players, done by our very own Mark Elba. We'll name names at the end of the night. Also, speaking of names, if you're watching right now, and you have not yet voted on the name for the tower for the Merely Players, their home is up for naming, and the naming rights are up to the Hijinks Hall or the Slapdy-Dash Tower. So you can make your vote known in the chat. Go ahead and do that. Make your vote known.
Blake will get the winning name tattooed on his butt.
Butt quarters.
And he'll probably do that. He'll probably do that. So please,
and a dark horse.
So please go ahead and place that vote in the chat, and we will name a winner at the end of the night. The winning name.
That too.
Awesome. We are deep in the house of House Usher, and strange things are afoot. Our heroes now, the Merely Players, have just left a brief interview session. Well, I guess it wasn't that brief. Interview session.
No, we wish.
With Annabelle, and so do you. You wish, I bet too.
We're good.
They're not very smart.
With Annabelle, the maid for the Lady Madeline Usher, and the valet, Satrin, who is the Lord's valet. And are going back to meet with Amonte, who is the household chef. And so, with that in mind, sorry, just a moment, write a note. You head back to the back of the house, heading back sort of the way you came, actually, and into a big dining room. It's the largest room you've seen yet in this house. It's a big dining room, and right off the dining room you can hear things going on in the kitchen on the other side of a swinging double door. You're saying this, the dining room's got a very long wooden table in it. It looks like it would seat as many as 20 or so. It's very big with big high back chairs, hand carved wooden high back chairs. That is what we're at, yes.
So before we go in, what was that, Delric?
Oh, right. Look, Brona knows this, but you see, I have the ability to detect thoughts. I told you this before, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we've
did we know
used
that? I
this
think we
before.
knew that.
Yes.
Oh, well, so I did, because there was information being withheld, and once I realized what it was, I thought you heard it out loud too. It was a bit shocking, but nonetheless, not to go into details, but there was a relationship budding between two servants. Now, in any sort of home like this, it's very improper to have these sort of affairs, and it is often very frowned upon. So, in my thinking,
So those
I'm
two,
sorry.
they actually.
I will
How do you
not.
think that works?
I made sure to remove my thoughts when I saw more details in pictures, a lot of flashing pictures, lights, and things like that. But nonetheless, if there's potential reprimand involved or some jealousy, maybe that might lead to a potential, person of interest, if that makes sense. So just covering all bases. Now, granted, I got a bit excited and I wanted to shout out. Well, I know this now, and that is why that happened, and it was inappropriate. However, potential person of interest.
I think the kitchen will be an interesting place to search because that's where the fire originated originally.
My eyes are on Lady Madeline. We still haven't been able to talk to her, and they've been deterring us away from her.
I think I want to go into that study, though, too.
And the cellar.
And the
And the
cellar.
linen
We
closet.
should definitely sneak into the
So
store.
we have to
Tear
split
this
up.
house apart.
The servants' quarters.
We've got a chef to talk to, and I bet there's food in there.
You're absolutely correct, Cree.
Why don't we go?
Cree, would you like to lead us into the room?
I would like to go, and I start walking over.
Cree, you push your way through the double doors, and just like they slam open and slam right back in your face, and then you slam them back open again. And there's a moment of you've never really experienced swinging doors before,
That was probably the ghost.
I found it!
but eventually you do manage to stop the door from slamming you, and you walk into the kitchen. And the rest of you follow. It's a stone-floored kitchen, like a flagstone kitchen floor, and there's a big butcher block in the center. There's a big hearth, which is the only source of warmth you have found in this entire house, and it has made the kitchen actually pretty warm, and it is kind of a relief. There are pots and pans hanging from hooks on the ceiling. There's a door to the left, on the far wall to the left. There are lots of satchels, sacks, barrels of various sizes, sort of tucked along the wall and in corners. And standing at the butcher block, cutting up what looks to be a fairly sizable onion, is a short, kind of a round man, balding with sort of like red hair across the back of his head, and he's got kind of small eyes, and kind of like little buck teeth, and you walk in. Hello.
That's not the voice I expected from you.
It's not, huh? Well, that's the voice I'm giving you.
Are you the cook here?
Yes, that would be me. I'm a Monty.
We're the melee players. We're here to. Do you have any food?
And we're here to investigate. To finish that thought.
Yes, I have. I have a lot of food actually. I'm glad you asked.
Can I have a bit like right now? Like
Are you?
Cast detect potato.
Are you hungry?
I'm a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't really know who you are, but
Billy, Thexis, Cree, Vanelia, Delric, Bronin.
The other
The melee
servants,
players.
okay.
the other
Ghost
servants
hunters.
didn't tell you we were doing it.
Satrin invited us here.
Oh, well.
Well, the Baron Usher invited us, but Satrin goes
Oh, well,
Right,
there's
right.
Saturn. Well, you've got all the right names to drop. So, I've got. You talking apple? I've got.
I would love one, yeah. But you got anything? I don't know, hearty?
He tosses you a bright red apple.
I start eating it.
You seem it's a lot warmer in here. Got to say, this place is a bit more chipper.
Oh
than
yeah, it's chilly
everything
out there.
else.
It's chilly out there. Well, it's not. It's not chilly in here because I got the hearth going.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I cook the food.
How many years have you been cooking food for this household?
Oh well, man, it must be over more than 20 years now, at least. Yeah.
Oh, you were here with Satrin in the original home.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was.
Could I? So you know about the stuff that's been going on?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen any of the fires start yourself?
Have you had any bad dreams?
I have seen both of those things. Yes.
Who burned alive in your dream?
I'm sorry. What?
Who burned alive in your dream?
Oh.
Parent, loved one, puppy.
This is very sudden. Please make a persuasion check.
No wonder people don't like that.
Oh, come on, man. It's,
You deserve
that's
that
an
one.
11.
Someone close to me. Yeah.
No, right, that seems to be on.
Monty, have any of the fires happened in this room?
I have seen a couple in here. Yeah, while I've been working, it's true. Yeah.
Have you been burned by one of these fires, not from cooking?
Both. Yes, I have.
Well, that's why I asked specifically the other, not the former.
And that's why I said both.
Right, but I just need the other.
Okay. Well, I confirmed it by saying that.
Monty, you have a lot of experience with fire, right? Because you're cooking all the
I
time.
do. Yes.
Would you say that these mysterious fires have any characteristics that stand out to you? Like,
They seem to start from nowhere.
right? Are they a certain
Spontaneous
color?
combustion.
Yeah.
Oh, like this.
That could be triggering. Are you all right?
Well, that's alarming. It's alarming. Thank you.
It's just
So
as weird as it
no
was
other
before.
characteristics besides it starting out of nowhere. It just seems like a.
Yeah, they just kind of, and then they just burn, and in places that you wouldn't expect, like not on a candle,
Like where?
like in the middle of a floor, or
The ones you've seen.
on a sack of beans.
Sack of beans.
Oh, the beans.
Not the beans.
So
Texas loves beans.
You've been cooking for
Bag
the
of
ushers
flaming hot Cheetos.
for a long time. I remember he said something. He wouldn't take me walnuts, which is weird. He was saying something about his stomach being finicky. What does that mean? Do they not like to eat certain things?
Oh yes, his lordship has he's got a very touchy stomach, and Lady Madeline she does not eat frequently. She does not eat much, but I have to make him very thin gruel.
Has he always been like that?
He's always been a little bit finicky about his food, but it's been more prevalent in recent years.
The last
Must
5
be.
years.
Yeah.
Must be rough going for a cook of, I'm sure, your caliber to have to make gruel.
It is somewhat disappointing, but you know what? I got a job to do, and that is to feed his lordship and his ladyship and the household staff, and that's what I do.
So what do you like to cook?
What do I like to cook?
Yeah, I mean, you're a cook. What do you like to cook?
Oh, I do enjoy, cooking a big roast.
Do you have roast?
Do I? I do not at the moment.
Are we eating
What do you
root
have
now?
here?
I have
rations.
I have we have a
Just
pretty
stuff to
wide
make-
assortment. We've got
We've got
beans.
red gruel.
Beans, yes.
We've got beans. We do. I have an assortment of food. Yeah, I mean, I'll be making a dinner tonight. I mean, it'll be what servants usually eat.
What's that?
What is that?
Oh, it's standard fare bread and meat.
I'm just trying to discern
that
whether or
sounds good.
not he's
Cheese?
actually a good cook, or if he can only cook gruel.
Girl, sit down. We're going to find out when we have dinner.
So,
Right.
I know that you've been working with this household now for 20 years.
Yes, that's
No.
You were here. I mean, I know it might be a sensitive subject, but when the original fire happened 5 years ago,
I was, yes.
and what area of the? I mean, I know the house doesn't exist anymore, but was there a certain area where the fire originated from?
Oh,
if you were to-
well, yeah, I believe so. There was, it was, I think it was upstairs.
Oh, interesting.
Well, this is the kitchen here, and then it's the his lordship's bedroom is directly above.
Can I roll insight?
Sure.
It's because it's hot in there, isn't
Because
it?
I'm going back. We were told that it started in the kitchen. A game. This is asking DM.
That is what you were told. Yes. That's
Okay.
correct. The players should also take notes.
Write
that down.
Well, no, and I did. I was making sure that you remembered. I don't know why, but why would I do that? 17.
He seems to be telling the truth, but you can tell.
Oh, so like the ceiling. Going through the
Well, yeah. I
ceiling.
mean I was working in the kitchen when the fire started, so I know it wasn't in here.
And upstairs is the servants' quarters.
Oh shit.
No.
Directly above is his
lordship's.
quarters, and then above that there's servants' quarters.
What's
above him.
below us?
Directly below us? Is the wine cellar.
Does anything ever happen down there? As in
I get bottles
fires
of wine.
or incidents
Sometimes
or
at night.
Stick around.
Shadow Man comes.
nothing happens really in that area.
Not that I've noticed in particular. It's
No more cellars.
No more. Oh yeah, I rule that out as an option as well. But I'm like pull from my jacket the. No, actually I don't. I finger the. Sounds weird.
Ooh.
No, go ahead.
Fucking
Whoa,
sheet
dude.
music.
Yeah.
Sheet music under my coat, and I go, oh. I think Monty's told us everything that's pertinent. Perhaps we should look around.
I have one more question. Anyone else?
I think I have one.
No.
I forgot what it was,
All right.
but it'll come back.
you seem very interested, Muddy One, about dinner. What would you like me to prepare for you?
I was just curious as to what's good in the castle. What's the thing that you liked making the most
it
for the
beans?
ushers prior to them? Maybe we should have that for dinner.
Well, I
Maybe
don't know
it'll
what we
help
have. You tell
his
me.
lordship feel better, or make him remind him of better times.
He doesn't like his senses being assaulted by too many things.
Beans.
It's what's for dinner.
I would
He'll
like
do
something.
What's for dinner?
Something warming.
Warming. Oh yes, it'll be very warm. Don't you worry. Yeah, absolutely.
Tell us your thoughts on Lady Madeline. You see her around often.
No, I don't see her very often. I mean,
She didn't travel through here. Didn't roam around here. Where life
she
is?
generally doesn't come into the kitchen. I do see her around the
make-
house
do you make-
periodically.
Do you make her gruel as well?
She generally eats thin soups and gruels,
All right.
like his lordship.
That's all I have.
You know, you're a very loyal, I can tell, the whole lot of you, very loyal, attentive servants.
Well, there aren't many of us left.
No, you're the ones that stuck through it.
It's true.
You must love the Ushers a great deal.
They provide us a roof over our heads, and they provide the food that goes in our bellies, and we ensure that they are safe and well taken care of.
Where does their money come from?
They were born with their money.
Oh, the lucky bastards.
Like timber.
But it must be more than just, you get a roof over your head. I mean, you get a roof over your head, but under that roof you have terrible nightmares. So is there some sort of relationship you have with these people that's keeping you here?
Make a persuasion check.
Pull out a knife.
And I pull out my gun.
We're bad.
Tonight.
Asshole!
Just Mark is
What
fine.
did you call him?
I got a 10.
10. He says, "Well, I mean, I gotta say, this is our job. This is what we do, and there's a respectability and an honor to doing that job.
So
We're serving her ladyship, and his lordship.
But
and
that's a good
that is
point.
what we do.
But do you care about them?
Of course we do.
And I want to try and persuade him to talk more.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
I want to see if I can do this. So that's nat 20.
Oh, so what is it modified?
Oh. A 28.
You needed a 30.
28.
Dang.
Can I get the D?
So I began his whole life story.
When I was born,
The full multi-clan story.
Amante begins speaking at length about growing up here. His parents are from the area. His mother worked in the household.
we're all just weeping by the end of it.
And he talks about how he had fallen in love with food and cooking food and providing
wow.
sustenance for people, and how that was a thing
That
he
is
was.
a terrible story now. Because all he does is cook water.
But there's a job that he feels that he fulfills, and it is integral to the sustaining what remains of the House Usher.
Sure, all right, let's keep
You're a good man, Monty.
You're also
It's the onions.
It's very kind of you, and I look forward to providing you with a very tasty meal later, even though you won't tell me what you want.
nope, I still won't call my dad.
I'm just curious because I've never been to this part of the Lorne Empire, and I remembered
He did his best. He did his
you
best.
saw it, and I'm just curious if there's certain delicacies that we haven't had.
Well, I mean,
Have you heard of
like
tacos?
Tacos.
Look, I just hope that there's a rule if there's nachos that no one can eat all of the toppings.
Brennan,
they're
there are
nachos.
there are
They're not
people
nacho-
burning alive in dreams and ghosts, and you're worried about dinner. Ronan.
This is this man's job.
Yeah, well,
I'm making him feel important.
and what is our job?
Thank you very much.
Bronan and
this all the
Delric
time.
are shoved out like the odd couple.
Before we go, just is there anything else that you've noticed that's changed with the Ushers over the last 5 years, or about the house? Anything else like them being picky about their food that you've noticed changed?
Well, I mean, it was a little weird. Just before the fire, his lordship was he was a little cold to to some of the folks in the house, and then, but you know, I don't want to say anything bad about his lordship.
Well,
What, Brody?
I just want you to know that he brought us here. I mean, you're having these terrible dreams. Don't you want them to end?
He, his lordship was a little was cold towards Belton a little bit before the fire. But his lordship went running in at his own peril when he found out that Belton was inside. So I don't.
Now, listen. I know you're nervous. You have a bunch of people interviewing, but between you and me, you can trust me. I promise.
That seems.
What was it specific to a relation that Belton had that he was had the coldness towards him? You don't have to say anything more than other than yes or no.
I don't know. I don't.
All right, you don't know. That's fine.
Okay, we'll see you at dinner. Let's go.
All right.
All right. Yeah, you leave the kitchen, and you have now eaten the core of the apple, and on your way out.
That's a good pat.
We're coming out of the kitchen back into the foyer yet?
So you go out of the kitchen into you're nesting in the dining room.
My intuition was.
While we're in the dining room, I'd like to pull out the Haunted Palace burnt sheet music.
Okay.
Is there anything particularly odd about the fire, like the
Make an
burn?
investigation.
Oh, I'm really bad.
I start
at
writing
this.
a note to
Why do I feel
Shylin
like I
Holmes
know these
bragging
names?
about my
That's not
investigation.
terrible. Yeah, it does seem odd. 17 total.
17. You open up the paper and you take a look. It looks as though the flame it's just in the center of the sheet music. So the sheet music is a one long sheet that's been folded, and you notice that the wherever the flame was, like someone didn't light the corner, is what I'm saying. The flame came from the center. That's what you discern from it.
It makes a really cool pattern.
Yeah,
You stretch it out. It's like a snowflake.
I take a little bit of mud that's still on Bronin, slap it on his back, stick it to the back of him, pull out my lute, and play the sheet music as best I can as we're walking down the hall back to the foyer.
Okay, it's very hard. There's a massive chunk. I mean, you're just going to play the notes you can see.
As best I can, and sort of based on when I played with him earlier,
Okay.
fill in the gaps if I can.
Okay. Make a performance check.
You're good at those.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Sexy 20.
The
Nasty 20.
music seems to match up with the weird discordant song he was playing earlier.
Do I notice anything about the house? Does it start to...
Make a perception check.
What's the music called?
The Haunted Palace.
Haunted Palace.
Oh, perception was a 16 flat.
You don't notice anything in like the room. You're passing out of the dining room into the foyer. That's where you're going. So there
We're
doesn't
headed
seem to be
upstairs.
anything.
We're headed upstairs.
Are there lyrics?
There are no lyrics on them.
Well, I'm shit out of luck.
Who wrote
Good
it?
right song.
Oh, do I see
Who wrote it?
I'm like spinning around you, trying to keep up. Hold on, I'm trying to read it.
I'm in love with a stripper.
Do I see a name like?
You do not see a name.
Cool. I
Haunted
gently remove it off of
Palace.
Bronin's back, kind of shake off the mud, and roll it back up and stick it in my bag.
Okay, you do so.
Now, group, what were you doing? I'm sorry, I was paying
Oh no, I was
attention.
gonna say upstairs, but
Let's
Yes.
go.
we're having a team
Well,
meeting.
listen, I do recall him saying that Belton was getting some cold looks and words too from our lordship. However, he said that he rushed quickly when he found out that he was burning. So the burning started, he didn't know about it, and then he rushed when he did. So that means
Well-
there was a first witness to the fire.
Didn't the cook lie to us? He said the fire started in what's-his-butt's bedroom.
He might not have been lying.
Well, it's possible that Zatrin would be covering for his lordship due to their relationship. but I think it's absolutely imperative that we hear Lady Madeline's side. So one side we haven't heard, and there's the
And I
two
also
that are
think
most
it's
directly.
pretty suspect that he won't let us into his bedroom, 1, and 2, into his private study.
Well, he said he would let us into the study if he was there.
Well,
Let's sneak in.
there's only 4 people
That's what
who
this
work
vacation
here.
is missing.
I will say this: when it comes to family, with these kind of homes, they will protect each other at all costs. So it may not directly be him; he could just be protecting someone else. Keep that in mind.
Also, based on what the servant said, the sister doesn't really talk. She just kind of is in and out of it. So maybe you guys try and get something out of her, and I can stand guard at the door and let you know should someone be coming down the hall.
And you wouldn't bring
but-
Grail.
My thoughts believe that we won't see her until dinner.
If she
Lady
comes
Madeline.
to dinner.
If she comes to dinner. If she does not, then we'll have to go see her. But
Then we'll door dash.
I think the study would be, or the study or the servants' quarters
like a ding-dong
would be
dish.
a good look.
We could check the servants' quarter, see if that crack runs all the way up the wall. And maybe if there's no one around, we could check his bedroom.
What?
Dex, you want to go check out his bedroom? See
Well,
how
we
the-
do have someone that can sneak around quite easily.
Maybe Thexus
It's me, isn't
could
it?
get into his bedroom,
She can turn it
check
down.
any trunks, or get into his drawers.
I mean, I don't know
See if there's
what
any
you.
clues
That's
that we
not.
can find.
That,
Big.
raging clue.
listen, I'm not. I mean, he's pretty.
Yes.
Just saying.
Oh, that was the end of this interview.
That was the end of that. All right, so where should we head first?
Servants' quarters?
So third floor, menswear.
You head up the stairs, and you come to the landing, which is a hallway which has left and right. There's also the landing goes left and right, and then it curves around
Go left.
a room in front of you. The stairs seem to be, you don't see any of the stairs up to the third floor from where you're standing.
Don't see it.
It's on the outside,
Oh, all right.
potentially. There's one.
Is there a dumbwaiter around
What's on this floor? What are we looking at?
You're standing on the landing. There's like a wall in front of you, and then the landing curves around this wall, and so there's like a corridor here and a corridor here.
Can we just follow the signs to servants' quarters?
You stand there for a long time, and the
walk
sign
down-
never materializes.
Let's just go left.
Yeah, I walked down the left hallway.
Okay, great. You head down the left hallway. There's a couple of doors. They are closed. And you come to another hallway. And to your left, you see stairs.
Stairs down, the stairs up.
To the third floor.
Up I go.
I'm sorry,
Texas.
I should say up and down.
If you will.
But we are on the second floor.
You're on the second floor.
Oh, so there we go that way.
Yes, we go.
Okay. You head up. As you head up, you ignite a flame and you head up the stairs. The stairs take you up to. It's not a full. The first 2 stories are taller than the third story, and so you get up there, and it is a lower ceiling than the first two floors, and you come to a corridor, and there are at the far end of the corridor there's a window. It is open and sunlight is coming through, which is new and different as opposed to the rest of the house, and there are 3 sets of doors on either side.
Okay, let's start knocking.
It's a daylight.
You knock on the first door. There's no answer. Okay.
If it opens.
It does. It opens. It opens up into what looks to be a fairly simple little cell. There's a bed, a foot locker. There's like an armoire on a little sitting chair with a footstool.
Can I investigate to see if I can glean whose room this may have been?
Sure.
Is there a giant crack in the wall?
Right.
That is not a legitimate roll.
Okay.
It wasn't a 20.
That one's much better. What is this, an investigation?
Yeah, we'll call this an investigation.
13.
A 13. Yeah, you think that this is probably Saturn's room.
Smells like it.
I'll go to the next one while they're looking at this one.
Okay, you go to the next one over.
Billy.
There is no answer.
You go to the next room.
Sure. You open the door. It is a similar-looking cell. This one is empty. It looks unlived in. There is a bed that's been stripped down. There is an open footlocker, and there is an armoire in here that is open and empty.
I'll just go to the next one then.
Go with
Unless.
Is there a crack on the wall?
There is a crack that runs up from the floor all the way up to the ceiling.
Vornelia,
Interesting decoration.
come over here.
Scurry over.
I like how
into the
she's
room
become
where
our
Texas is.
crack in the wall expert.
And I
How's this crack look?
So look legit.
it looks like the same crack.
It does in fact
This
look like
is
the
a
same
long
crack.
crack. One of the long ones. Sometimes they're short cracks, but this one's a long
You
one.
didn't talk about what you felt when you were looking into it earlier.
There's some kind of deep darkness.
Negative
coming from this.
energy.
Yes.
So like not positive, negative energy.
Like that thing you do to people.
Now you got burned, Delric!
How did you do that?
That was fire.
And I literally disappear. My clothes fall over into a little pile. And my spirit rises out and leaves.
He was a witch.
Can I investigate? Like, can you talk a little bit more about what this crack looks like?
Sure, yeah. Make an investigation check.
Okay. Where'd you go? 13.
13. Okay. The crack does indeed follow similar suit, and it is at its lowest point. It looks like it was maybe like a quarter of an inch wide, and at this point, it is now towards as it reaches the ceiling and continues past there to the roof. One presumes it's almost 3 inches wide up there. There is a draft coming through it.
So you can can you see through?
Yeah, if you peek up, you can see through.
I can see through.
Is there are
good
there
for you, bro.
burn marks
Those good glasses.
in the cracks? Like, could it be a lightning bolt?
Make an investigation check.
No. Modified 2.
It could. For all you know, it could be.
This is made of gingerbread. I swear it.
Vornelia, go ahead, please.
I become a spider and I run into the crack.
Okay. Vornelia's form shimmers,
Little orange.
and she takes the form of a spider, with a little tuft of orange
What
hair
noise do you make when
right
you
on the
do
top of its multi-eyed head, and she scampers up the wall, and disappears into the crack.
Vornelia, no!
And Vornelia, so make we'll call this an investigation check.
I just
Or
imagine.
what are you looking for here in the crack?
I'm looking to see if there's anything in there because there's a draft.
Okay, we'll
like,
call
where
this
does it lead?
An
What-
investigation check. Okay.
It's my alarm clock.
17.
Oh, okay. The crack seems very smooth. It's very smooth on the interior of it. It's strange, as opposed to something that's like would have been like crumbled or broken or snapped. It is very smooth on the inside of it, and you follow it all the way up, and it does take you to the roof, and it gets you outside. So you're actually out on the roof as a spider looking around, and the countryside it's still rainy and windy
shit.
out, and so you. But yeah, the crack from the interior is very, very slick and smooth.
Down came the rain and washed the spider.
Would you care to do anything else, Cornelia?
What do you see? Oh, she's a spider. She can't say anything.
Can I detect magic as
She
a
can understand
spider?
You cannot
think so.
concentration.
You cannot
I don't think
cast
so, yeah.
spells out of your beast.
Yeah,
If I became a person,
Unless a
would I
spider
die?
could detect
Where I am?
you'd just be on the
which
roof.
we don't know.
I'd be stuck.
Be very careful. You can come back.
Come back in.
Okay,
Is the
okay,
roof cracked?
okay, I'll come back.
All right, you crawl back down.
Yeah.
You hop out,
Cornelia.
and again the form shimmers and grows back to your 12-in form.
The crack leads to the roof,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really smooth.
Good crack usually is.
What? And this home is made of. Is it stone?
The home is mostly wood. I mean, there are stone components to it,
The
but
whole
it's,
time
but
I
it's,
thought it was stone, so it's made of wood. All right. And so, does anyone know what would smooth wood in this way? Like,
I might,
what's that?
because my family was logging people.
Hello.
What people were they logging?
You know, big people, small people, tall people, short people. Could I make what would it be to sort of like
a
determine-
history check.
History check? Okay, I'm not good at those, but
Can I take out?
Yeah, you are.
natural
Oh.
20.
Let's go.
Wow, you guys really course corrected.
This wood is from Wisconsin.
Yeah. You got a very nice ash here, and
Okay. So you're going
That's
to
the
you're trying to glean what would make that occur.
yeah, if it's natural or if
That there is nothing you're familiar with that would I mean unless it was done with like tools, but there's no tool that would fit in that crack and make that occur to your knowledge.
I take out a copper and I put in the crack and I try to get it to roll down.
You pull out a copper piece, Cree, and you stick it in. It goes stink, and then it disappears down. It
So it
slides
goes
all the way.
below the floor.
Yeah, it's now somewhere below you.
Make
So
a wish,
when we
Cree.
get back down there, we should look for the copper.
perfect.
Good idea.
I relate.
It causes the crack to go all the way. It just
That was the last
it's
straw.
dividing.
The house breaks apart.
So we solved
This
the
is
mystery.
very well made, but that's not normal in any way, shape, or form.
Might be magic.
We should leave that business card with the people working on ours. You know.
Oh,
I
Poshy?
would just leave the card in there.
The Rasanti.
Yes. All right. So this appears to be Belton's room. Then, yes.
Well, no, the house burned
It's an
down.
abandoned room.
Oh, that's right.
We don't
Oh,
smell
but
around.
It might be Belton's room.
It might
since
have been
no
where
one's
his room
occupying it now.
I mean, is there the chance that they built it kind of exactly the same as
That's
the
what
last
I'm
one?
wondering. I'm hoping there's maybe some building plans in the study.
Like he said, they didn't
Ah,
have
that's
any.
a very,
That's
very
true.
good
They're
idea
on a-
because.
they're on a-
Yeah, but the thing is that the old house burned down. This one has a crack going in it currently. So
Why would there be plans? But wouldn't the plans have burned in the fire?
That's
Why would there still be plans around?
Well,
Maybe
he-
they
he said they
rebuilt
didn't
it
have
the
them
same
anymore.
exact way on top of
Maybe.
it. But
they went to the registrar, got their copy of it, and they Xeroxed it over.
yeah, I feel like
What's
there's
his
too
name?
much bureaucracy for a fantasy land.
They kept it in their Google Drive.
Googly Drive.
Could I sniff around the room, the corners of the room and stuff?
Sure. What are you trying to do?
I'm just looking for anything unusual. It smells like smoke in the house, right?
It does.
Does it smell like just any weird things?
Okay. We'll call it a perception check.
Okay.
Can I try and investigate to see if the smell of it is stronger in this particular area near the crack?
Perception.
Can I continue looking at the other rooms?
Sure.
17.
A 17. Sorry. So many people were talking to me. What were you doing again?
I'm just sniffing around the room, just
Oh, right.
looking
sitting
for
around the
anything
room.
weird.
You walk around the room. It seems to be stand other than the weird crack in the wall. It seems pretty normal in here. There is the kind of burned smell, but that seems to just exist throughout the house.
And there's nothing weird around the crack other than the crack itself.
Correct.
Okay.
10.
You were doing what again?
Sniffing the crack.
Sniffing.
You heard it
See
here.
if the burn smell was stronger there than it is away.
It does not seem to be. It's slightly lessened, but there's a draft coming through from outside.
Damn, it's outside.
I guess
I want
wine
to.
cellar?
Oh, I was thinking, Delric, you as a noble lord formerly, did you keep a journal of your day-to-day existence?
Yes, I did.
I say we try to find this motherfucker's journal.
I'm on
Whose
it.
journal?
I mean, he's standing right there.
No,
He's-
Bobby's.
Oh.
Bobby Usher.
His name's Robbert.
I know he's Robbert, but we're gonna turn over
We
his
could-
room, and
we could-
I want to lessen his personal
Oh,
connection.
all right. This is gonna
We've
be a party.
got we've got a way to sneak into the study if we want. I mean, if you're down to maybe sneak in there and look around a bit.
We can
have that
distract anyone
option.
that walks by.
We could do that.
Entertain them, maybe.
if it's the Lord himself,
I'm
I
on
got a
it.
loot. Oh, actually, no.
Like God?
Huh?
Like God? The Lord himself.
Oh no! I see what you mean. No,
Which one?
the Baron.
Good question.
Before we go do that, is there anything else we want to do up here? I mean, we haven't seen Annabelle's room. We haven't
Yes,
seen.
let's continue.
You said you were. Did you say you were looking at more rooms?
Ashanti.
Okay. All of the rooms are
equally the same.
yes. You find on the other side. One of them is a toilet. Two of them are. One would presume one is Annabelle's room, and one is Amonte's, and then there's one more that is also unoccupied.
I know they had a plumbing system.
I know.
And then Annabelle's room.
Start joining.
Was there anything of interest?
You can make an investigation check.
There's a poster of Ramsey.
No, there's nothing of interest in her room. It looks to be well kept and neat.
A program for the recent production.
Rise and conquer.
My God.
She's a fan.
They've trapped us here.
There's pictures of Delric all carved all over,
Eye scratch.
over and over.
Yeah. Big mustache.
Oh, wear a mustache. Oh, I do, yeah.
I guess let's just go down then, if there's nothing else up here.
Can we take the fire pole down?
You're gonna head down to the first floor.
No, let's
floor-
go to the second floor.
The floor where his study
The
is.
study is on the first floor.
Oh, is that where we're going?
Well, let's go there.
No, I didn't know where we were going. Or is that where we're going?
Yes, let's go there.
What did you study?
Sure.
Keep an eye out for
This
Lady
floor.
Madeline if she's running about.
You head down the stairs to the second floor, then all the way down to the
Slide
first
down.
floor.
laugh
There's a hallway. It spills you out onto a hallway, and it's pretty long. And there are doors on either side. You believe all the way at the end, which is at the front of the house. So you're at the back of the house now. The far end of the front of the house. This hallway will take you straight to the study. You believe.
Let's go.
Horse blinders on, moving forward.
I do want to try to move a little quieter down the hallway.
Okay.
Ronan, don't move.
Does that go for the group?
Yeah.
I don't think I would know to do that.
I'm going to give him Blessing of the Trickster.
Okay.
And he will have advantage on dexterity stealth checks. However, it will last 1 hour, and that should even him out.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. So if everyone will make a group stealth check, then
Oh
please.
God, here we go. Oh no! 2.
18.
But
Cornelia.
21.
My word.
1. A nat 1 with 0 stealth.
18.
And you gave him blessing of the trickster.
You guys, like basically turn into the Keystone Cops, like as you just like slam into one another, making an enormous racket. Thankfully, there's no one on this hallway. Whether anyone's in these rooms, off these doors here,
There's
you
a
don't know.
method to our madness.
It happens every time. Every time.
I had to roll higher than a. I don't know. It was bad night.
So you're gonna, but you walk down the hallway loudly and make your way to.
We do the worm down the hallway.
You are now outside a door that you believe is the study.
Vornelia, I know you have to use the bathroom. Why don't you go do that while we stand in the hallway and practice our castanets?
I am here.
Billy pulls out a castanet.
Please make a deception check.
If I ever judged on my acting again,
You gotta be fucking shitting me, man.
what'd you roll there, buddy?
2-0, baby! I was gonna do that.
Oh,
Nat 20. Somehow that was utterly believable.
why was it so good?
It's because of how good I am at castanets.
Must be.
They're 2 walnuts.
Does she even know what a castanet
The rest of the
is?
party literally thinks you're like here to practice castanets.
Very
It's
strange,
walnut
but-
shells. It's 2 walnut shells
Yeah.
strapped.
I didn't know you were so good at that.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, but did you want to sneak into the studio?
Oh, right. Okay, then I
It's the beat to crab rave.
I don't know. I become a spider again. A
Okay.
very small one.
You shimmer. And her form returns back to the spider form with just a little tiny tuft of orange hair right on its little head.
And I crawl under the door.
You crawl under the door.
Animal Crossing.
You are now standing this high, in the study. It's a thick carpet in here, and it's actually kind of hard as a spider to get around in it because it's like trying to move through like.
It's like a shag carpet.
It's a big thick carpet.
Fantasy 70s.
And she's a small spider. So you're in this room. There are, as one would imagine, bookshelves that are line the walls on either side, and there's a desk at the far end. Make a perception check.
How many eyes does your spider have?
Is anybody in the room?
Just two big eyes.
Just two big eyes.
Doug funny eyes.
Oh, and don't bring back Doug.
I did. It was natural.
18.
Oh, nice. So you see there's a desk at the far end. There are two chairs, nice-looking big high-back chairs on this side of the desk, this side between you and the desk. On the far side, there's another even larger chair, and behind it there is a painting on the wall of someone you don't know, but they have white blonde hair, so you assumed it's some
It's a
Usher,
Targaryen.
probably.
Usher.
Is anyone in
Here
the
is
room?
your seat.
No one is in the room. You are by yourself in here that you can tell.
Oh, but I can't get up.
Here is your seat.
Is there a keyhole?
I'm trying to decide whether to become a person or not, because can I get out if I become a person?
You can't become a spider to get back out.
She's
No, I
by
can only
herself.
do it twice.
Oh, gotcha. And just come back through the door. Sorry, I'm not trying
No, hush.
I don't know, because what if the door's locked in some way where I can't get out?
You look back. There is a key in the door.
Ooh, I become a person.
You return to your form. You're now standing
Well-
in there. There is a key in the door.
Oh no. Okay, so I whisper through. I talk through the keyhole. What am I looking for?
I don't know what the room looks like.
It's a study with chairs in it.
Look for papers.
Okay. So I'm looking for papers on the desk.
Okay, you go over to the desk. There seems to be an assortment of papers, some books on the desk. You couldn't see as a spider because you couldn't see the top of the desk, but now you can see the top of the desk. There's an assortment of books. There's some scrolls. There's a couple maps. There's an assortment of papers. So make an investigation check.
I did it.
I found him.
By O.J. Simpson.
If I did it.
16.
16. Okay. You're shuffling through these papers. Nothing seems particularly interesting to you. Most of this stuff is dated some time ago.
Okay.
You find some what looks to be some sort of like bank documents. It looks like, by your estimation, seems like he's been making a lot of withdrawals from his accounts.
Any of the maps look interesting?
They're of the area. Nothing of particular note about the maps that you didn't already know.
Okay. Anything odd about the walls or the architecture?
Make a perception check.
Oh, man. 5.
5. I mean, at first glance, it doesn't seem like there's anything in particularly strange. I mean, as I said, the walls on either end are bookshelves that go to the ceiling, and there are lots of books and scrolls stacked in there. It seems fairly haphazard, and the papers again are also kind of haphazard. There doesn't seem to be a lot of organization going on in here.
Okay.
Cornelia.
Detect magic.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. I think what you did was good.
Never mind.
Oh no, we were just getting kind of lonely out here.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Pull out my loot and I just
So I'm gonna
put on my
detect
drum and
magic.
I like with your castanets.
For 10 minutes.
There's
Start
music now
dancing.
happening outside the
fuck.
door. You can recognize it is definitely Billy and Cree doing something outside the door.
Okay, cool.
You check the so you're gonna cast detect magic in the room.
Yes.
So you ritualize detect magic.
Yes,
Okay. It takes 10 minutes.
it does.
It goes very quiet in that room for an extended period of time.
I'm still drumming. I go, I really hope no one comes down this hole.
It's a good vacation so far.
So where did you learn how to do that with walnuts? Is that a...
Oh, you just...
Let's see.
No
No one comes down the hall for the 10 minutes or you cast.
thank God.
You
Oh, I
cast
thought he was talking
detect magic.
He was talking about me.
And you again, you kind of have to like dig through this kind of foul, unnatural, dead kind of sensation, and then you pull your strength from beneath it, and you open your eyes, and they're glowing with a sort of green aura about them, and you look around the room, and you do not see anything that appears to be magical.
There's nothing in here. I open the door.
You unlock the door and open it. Cornelia is standing there. The door is open.
Can I go inside?
Anything of note you notice?
No.
Bronan, you walk in the room.
Where?
I'm gonna go into it.
How'd
What are you
you
doing?
open the door?
Okay.
I should have just opened it to begin with so you guys could search it.
You guys are. You're. Sorry. Who's going in the room? You are, and you are. Anyone else?
I'll stay and keep watch.
Okay.
I'll close the door behind
I'll
me.
go.
All right. So Delric, Bronan, and Thexus walk into the room, joining Cornelia. You're now standing outside, and Cree and Billy stay outside. You close the door behind you, and you're now standing in the room.
Oh, that's fine.
It is as Cornelia described it.
I want to look for any marks on the floor to see if any of these cases move around. Are those the bookcases, I'm assuming?
There are bookcases on the.
I just want to see if there's any marks on the floor to see any
Okay.
kind of movement.
Perception check.
I'll go out and just open it.
21.
All right.
21.
Someone.
You. Did you say something?
I said 21, but I'll go after Delric.
You also did a perception check.
No, I will after he.
Oh, I see. Okay. You scan the room, and the bookcases seem fairly standard, although again, as I say, haphazard. But there's something unusual about the painting.
And the painting is of.
It seems to be of you don't recognize the person. It seems, but you're guessing from the look of them and their hair, they appear to be an usher.
Are they hot? Sorry.
Thexus would probably find this person to be hot.
I will investigate this painting.
Okay, an investigation check.
All right.
Not bad, not bad.
If you find any spooky secret entrances, let me know.
15. You see that it looks like the painting might be on a hinge.
I will
Oh, Broden, let me
check
help you.
for traps.
No, I got it.
Okay, that will be another investigation check.
Question.
We're learning.
Vanilla, when you went in here, what did you look for exactly? Did you
Magic.
you tried to detect magic, so...
Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Oh, wait, she's in the room, is she with... No?
She is. She's with you.
Okay. Well, look, good thing is there's no... I'm talking to him, right?
Yes.
There's
If you
no
want to.
magic.
I don't know.
There's no magic on the frame, so it could be a mechanical thing, so be careful.
That's what I said.
Okay, so you go to investigate. As you do so, you see that Annabelle is coming down the corridor that you just came down, heading towards you.
I go to meet her father in the hallway. Go, Annabelle, I'm so sorry. I get so confused in these fancy homes. I seem to have lost some of my compatriots.
Oh, thank God it's Annabelle! Oh, she's here in the hallway.
I think we were on the way to the kitchen and I think I got lost. Would you mind taking us
looks like
back that
someone's
direction?
behind.
Sure, make a deception check.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to make my way on the side of the wall nearest to the door.
Hurry.
I
We're
do,
so
but I
much
can't.
gonna do the
I think I'm
painting.
talking to. So 8 and 6 is 14. 14,
Okay.
please.
Oh
wait, I do have cutting words though.
She does not have any reason to
Great.
think you would be making
so
that
good
up.
at weird
And she says, okay, well, sure, just come with me. They're at the kitchen, you think?
I think that's where we were
Oh,
headed.
yeah, okay. Well, it's on the other side of the house. Here, follow me. And she turns back down the corridor and begins to take you back towards the kitchen, to the back of the house.
Great.
17.
On your investigation check?
Yes.
Wow, okay. You did not find any traps.
I want to open that baby.
You pull it open, and there is a recess in the wall there, and in the recess there is a metal chest.
I'm on it.
That's
Hold on.
cash.
Mage hand.
you summon a mage hand, and an illusory is not an illusory. It is an arcane blue arcane hand materializes in front of you. You reach out and you go to pick up and you do. Although it's pretty heavy, and you can only lift 10 pounds, and it is almost that heavy.
Can it open from that position?
Yeah, sure. You open the lid. It's about yay wide and yay deep, and you flip up the lid. Bronin standing there. You can see there appears to be a book in it.
I take the book. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I will grab the book.
Okay, Bronin, you reach.
Because I'm closer.
You grab the book.
Yeah.
All right, it's in your hand.
All right. Shut that. Shut that.
You shut it.
No,
Shut
but
it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Put another book in that its place.
You just grab a random book.
Okay, what's this?
Everybody poops.
Best.
All my friends are dead. The dinosaur story.
That's better.
So you're gonna read.
Wait.
You're gonna open the book.
Right, did we hear them have this interaction with Annabelle?
I was closest to the door.
I was talking real loud.
The four of you in the room need to make perception checks.
Okay.
Everyone gets a 20.
God.
I was also talking with the intent that they might hear me.
Sure. Would be necessary to hear through the door.
15.
15?
19.
10?
10.
Yeah, you all hear that they're having some sort of interaction outside, though it's tough to discern.
Put
what's really
everything
going
back. We'll read it somewhere else.
Now, yeah, I'm gonna shove the book up my armor.
on. Okay. You slip the book into your armor.
Yeah.
And all the talk.
Sorry, words are not good.
I mean, you have a backpack on, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, he let him do it.
You can go to wherever you want, sir.
Basically, Ronan crams a large leather book
Up his armor.
under his armor.
You got a paper cut.
Put everything back as it was.
Just
Let's get the hell
relax
outta
and
here.
it'll be fine.
Okay, we'll make a stealth check.
Uh-oh.
Four.
4. Thexus goes to attempt to clean up the kind of the shuffling through papers and stuff, and like the books tumble off the top of the desk and papers slide and fly off the top of the
We'll
desk.
blame it on the ghost. Come on.
You run. Go. Just go. Just go. Just go. Just go.
You go. You open the door. There's no one in the hallway.
okay. Let's go to the foyer.
Oh, yes, the foyer. But in there, there's a foyer.
I'm gonna.
The door.
I'm gonna try and clean everything
not
up while they're
locked.
running.
Oh.
Okay. You attempt to rectify the mess that you just made, and we'll call that I'll call it another stealth check.
Yep.
I just wanted to know what it did.
Okay, that's a bit better. It was stealth, you said?
Stealth.
12.
A 12. Okay. You think you have a decent approximation of what you just did.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Dexter, can you lock the door from the other side with your mage hand?
To be able to see.
Can you see through the keyhole?
If I look real hard.
Let the chat decide.
I will
Wait a
not
minute.
let the judge decide.
Why don't we lock it from the outside and then just push the key underneath the door?
Like it
So
fell
that it
out.
looked like it fell.
Because of the ghost.
Oh, but I'm not here. I'm
I'm just gonna try and
we're hanging out
lock
with
it with
Annabelle.
mage
I
hand
don't
through
know
the
where they
keyhole.
went.
Okay. I'm going to call this an Arcana check.
Yeah. I guess we
Mark's
just
pretty good at that. Mark's pretty good at that. Mark didn't roll well. It's an 11.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it to you. You're peeking through the keyhole, and you summon Mage Hand through the keyhole.
Wait, boss, I did the math wrong. It's a 9. I'll be honest about
Love an
it.
honest
You
king.
tried to summon the Mage Hand, but you're unable to get a good view of the room, enough of the view of the room to formulate manage to maneuver the key.
I don't
and
do
the
Yeah.
Right.
Tell you what,
right.
give me that key. So I take the key, I
He
shut
shoves
the
it up.
door.
Shoves up his armor.
I lock the door
You lock the door.
and I palm the key.
Okay, you take
All
the
right.
key.
Let's go.
We'll ask for forgiveness later. We're doing it's for the better. It's for to help them. So in the end,
Well, listen,
Okay.
if it was locked from the inside, either he's got another way of getting in here, or he has another key. So-
Okay, let's just go.
where is our bard?
I don't know, but we'll find
Billy
out
and
later.
Cree have. You don't see either of them.
Let's go to the foyer.
To the foyer.
Yeah.
You're standing in the foyer.
Oh, hey,
You guys have now made it back to the kitchen. Annabelle has led you to the kitchen. Amonte is back there now sweating profusely as he's stirring pots and roasting meats. And it smells nice in here and it's
Sorry.
quite warm.
Sorry. Is there any chance we could have had a brief conversation with Annabelle alone while we were on the way?
Sure.
Annabelle, that bloke, the usher, what's it?
Belton?
Robbert.
Oh, Robert.
The Lord Robbert is a bit weird, isn't he?
He is a kind of odd. Yes, I mean he's different. He's troubled. He's had a lot on. He has a lot on his mind, and the health of his sister weighs heavily on him.
Annabelle, also, this is very personal, and please, if I'm out of line, just refuse to answer, which I imagine you will. But has he ever been untowards toward you?
No, not to my knowledge.
We did talk to someone earlier that had mentioned that
There's only 3 people in the house.
that
I'm hearing from people, a lot of people.
that Belton and before the fire, Belton and the Lord Robert had not a doubt, but he was a bit cold to him. I heard.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, who's going to be? Let's do Bumblebee. Hey. Bumblebee!
Best transformer.
19 plus 6 is 25.
Well, he was a.
Yeah. It is
I'm
the
unsure why. Belton was unsure why, but he was he acted strangely towards Belton for a few days before the fire, but he was the first to go in. He was the first to go into the fire to try to save him. When he found Belton was in there, he tried to find him.
The night of the fire, where was Belton? Where did you find him?
I don't know. He was found amongst the
ruins
of the house. I mean, I didn't find him myself. I'm not really sure where he was.
Do you know who did find him after all was said and done?
I can't say for certain.
Understandable. I won't press it any farther.
Okay.
You know, maybe let's head back to the foyer. I feel like maybe we didn't come down this way. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. All right. She takes you down a hallway and takes you back to the foyer where your comrades have.
God, it gets so confusing in this house.
It's a maze.
Delric had to take one of those big poos, you know.
Pardon me, Annabelle. Is there a place where I might sit down or lay down for a minute? There is a room that we might be staying in.
Oh, certainly, yes. I can take you to the guest room.
Yes.
Yes, they've been made up for you already.
Fantastic.
Well, should we unload our
Is there
gear?
a hot bottle? No.
I have 3 hot bottles for you.
Thank you.
Yes.
We'll go up there.
They're filled with hot water. And she takes you up the stairs, down the other hallway. You did not head down.
We are standing.
All the way to the back of the house, where it is to one of the guest rooms. The other one is sort of down around the corner,
Okay.
and takes you into. And here she opens the door. There are 3 fairly sizable beds. They are each on one of 3 walls. Excuse me. And there are foot lockers at the foot of each bed, and several chests in here as well. She says, "This will be your room for the night. And if there's anything you want, just let me know. Dinner, I imagine, will be ready in about an hour or so."
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Annabelle, is the lady feeling any better for company?
I have not seen her since, but I imagine she will hope to be down for dinner, I would think.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Also, if you could tell Monty, I've thought about what I want for dinner.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I'd like a very thin sliced steak, green beans, potatoes mashed, some nice gravy if you have it, and a good mead.
I'll let him know.
And I'll have moons over my hammy, number 17.
If that doesn't work, beans.
I love beans.
I know we have beans covered.
Okay.
Very good. Excellent. All right. Well, we'll see you soon. And she closes the door. You guys are in this room, now standing there.
What are you doing?
Wait till we turn around.
Why is it dripping?
We left it
wet.
5 minutes.
Is that where books come from?
You pull out the book.
Some books are written.
It's in your hand.
Oh, don't lick your fingers after.
Investigation check.
Just
It appears to be the personal journal of Lord Robbert Usher.
give me that! Now we're reading his diary.
I feel bad about
Vexus
this
showed
now.
up today.
What a handsome boy.
He's definitely gonna.
We just had a conversation with Annabelle as well.
Bitch, can you read?
4. You begin to work your way through the book. It's pretty dense, though.
Oh my God.
His handwriting is very flowery and
Dark. It's dark in it.
very tough for you to discern.
I tell you what,
Texas, yeah.
Texas, if you will.
Texas, an investigation check.
I know pretty boy handwriting.
I'm gonna start twinging.
I don't know pretty boy
Can I
handwriting.
give Vexus the eyeglasses of knowing?
Oh, thank God.
The eyes of minute seeing.
Sure, I'll give you that.
Can I-
This
that's
gives you
advantage?
advantage on intelligence or investigation.
Okay, you may make
One
a
more
second
hand.
roll and
Give
take
a
the
bardic
high.
inspiration.
Sure.
Yak can fly twice as high.
Reading ring.
Much better.
Plus a d6 if you like.
So it is 21.
21.
21.
Okay, great. Yes, it is the personal journal of Lord Robbert Usher, and it is.
Filthy.
You learn it is. He is a very. I mean, without question, this man suffers badly from depression.
Me too, man. Me too.
Throughout since he's been writing in this journal. That being said, you note about 3 years ago, there is an entry. And it says, was it right to have a man's life taken? He was no more than a thief, trying to steal that which I held most dear. But doubt gnaws at me. How I have longed to confront my dear one with the knowledge of her illicit affair, yet I wonder, did I imagine the whole thing? No, it must be true, for I heard them together that day in her powder room. Oh, the torment of these last 2 years. Will you ever forgive me, Belton? And that is where we'll end tonight's session.
Shit! I got a 7.
Good job, everybody. And with that, we will end tonight's session for you as well. Thank you for sticking around to the end of tonight's session. We don't yet know when we will next meet, but it shan't be too long. We will stay tuned. Follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter at @ToBeOrRPG. You can find us on the TikToks at #2BRPG. We're there too. The Twitters as well, #2BRPG. Anyway, you can find us on all the social media. We will announce when our next session will be. But as I said, it will be before too long, and where we will wrap up, hopefully, this murder mystery in the House of Usher. If you have not yet donated to the Classical Theater Company, shame on you. You may still do that. You can find the information to our PayPal below in our Twitch channel. You may go to classicaltheater.org and donate that way. And if you do so, and you follow us here on Twitch, you have been entered to win this. I realize now we might not, because of technical difficulty, have access to certain information to find out if there was a donation. So what we will do is we will find you via Twitch if you donated, and we will find you and send you one of these. We will contact you via Twitch, and that's what we will do. Now, the real question of the hour is, matron, mistress of the social media, do we have a name for a tower? What is it?
Hijinks Hall.
Hijinks Hall. Welcome to Hijinks Hall. Hijinks Hall will be the name of the tower going forward for the Merely players. Thank you very much for the lone vote. Only one vote. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All it takes is one vote. You know, democracy. It only takes one vote. So thank you guys so much. We will be back before too long to wrap this up. Thank you, and thank you.
And until next time, keep your belt on.
Keep your belt on.
Keep your books up your butts.
It's awful. It's just really terrible. Oh man. Oh man.
The music playing. Switch on the phone. See if we have to stop.